All right. I think we are good. Mic check looks good. Video looks good. Alan, if you can hear me, tell me we're good. Hopefully we are. I'm using OBS as per usual to do my live stream. I find that's just the easiest way, particularly since YouTube isn't super fond of me doing it overly well on theirs. But anyways, I wanted to say good afternoon, Magic players, card collectors of all kinds, and our Puggy fans over here. I hope you guys are all doing well. Kaiba and I are doing pretty good. It is Friday, admittedly not yet Thanksgiving, but we are doing our Thanksgiving celebration today because we have the time, and I know that we aren't going to have to worry about rushing this. We can probably have at least a couple hours together if need be. Kaiba's enjoying a marrowbone over there. Hopefully it's all going well and you guys can see and hear me good. Anyways, I'm just going to keep going on like it is, and if I'm wrong, well, then this is going to really suck as a recording later on. But, yeah. As I say, it is Thanksgiving, and, last year, Kappa and I had, um, this is actually one of my favorite months of the year, to be perfectly honest, but last year it was just also the hardest month of the year for Kaiba and I. Um, Thanksgiving, Halloween were always. I'm sorry, do you want to talk first? Should let him talk, I guess. He's gonna do the intro. Yes, baby. Yes, we're on the YouTube. Yes, we're on the YouTube. Say hi to Kaiba, everybody. Kaiba saying hi to all of you while he's yelling about his tree. Yes, you're a good boy. Yes, yes, yes. I decided to do the live stream in the bedroom today instead of doing it in the living room. I just thought that that seemed like a better option. On the offbeat chance that some sort of craziness happens and my dad does return early, at least then I have the ability to shut down and close things off up here without him knowing. But like I say, I shouldn't have that issue. And so today, like I say, where was I? I got gotten lost. Sorry. That happens sometimes when you have ADHD. um, oh, that's right. So October is one of the hardest months of the year for us. Because Halloween was really big in my house, as was Thanksgiving before my partner and I split up, and also our anniversary was in this month. So last year I was way too depressed, and I just couldn't handle doing any sort of holiday stuff last year. We really didn't celebrate much of anything, Kaiba and I, and I kind of regret it. So that's why this year I've gone overboard with Halloween stuff, and we're going to have a big celebration with you guys for Thanksgiving today. And I'm hopefully going to have some pretty cool Christmas stuff set up in this bedroom too at some point when we get to that holiday, because that is the other holiday that Kaiba and I love as well. But for today, what I wanted to do for Thanksgiving is show how thankful I am for all of the stuff that you guys do for my audience, for um basically just everybody around, I'm just trying to see if my I think it's the mic that's going. I don't think it's the laptop, but I just wanted to make sure. Anyways, it is on, right? Is it on? I don't know if it's on. Oh, yes, it's on. Okay. The one downside to not having a lot of people present in the stream is you never know if things are actually working correctly or not. It's the one. awesome thing about Snoop is Snoop always keeps me in line, but I figured Snoop probably isn't going to be available today, so um, it is what it is, but hopefully we will have a few people join us, and if not, well, hopefully they will see this later on. Because what I wanted to do for Thanksgiving is shout out a whole bunch of channels that I really like. Some of these are newer channels, some of these are favorites of mine that I featured in shoutouts on the channel before. And all in all, I just wanted to express how grateful I am for um, everything that's happened this year with regards to my channel on this platform. We've shot up a crazy number of subscribers this year, which is amazing. I'm sitting currently at 176 as of this morning. I didn't get a chance to check before I hopped in here today, but that is an amazing amount of people to have hanging out with us. And Kaiba and I feel very privileged to have the audience that we have. And so I also want to shout out some of our top commenters today. And just, yeah, give it all to you guys because you guys are awesome. And I also have a fat stack of packs over here. I'm not going to open all these, but I am going to open at least six, seven, maybe eight of them. So, I mean, we're just going to kind of pick at random unless somebody comes in and wants to shout out a pack. And if I have that pack, I could open it. But there are a couple packs that I will open specifically bet but for blah, blah, blah. Tongue-tied, sorry. Before shouting out certain streamers, just because I think they'll really enjoy these packs. And then the other packs are just going to be random openings. But yeah, so let's get to this because I don't want to keep you guys forever. I am just going to go get the links for the first couple of shoutouts. Cause yeah. So first and foremost, well, not foremost necessarily, that's a bad way of putting it. Off the top of the list, I do have an old favorite of mine from MTG. Uh, for Magic the Gathering, we are going to have our good buddy. Um, is it that one? No, it's not that one. Hmm, Copy, copy. MTGRIPZ. Maybe I'll just show on the list and then I'll go back and forth. That makes more sense. I think that's the best way. So MTG, no, that's kind of silly too. I wanted to post them into the chat. That's what I was going to do. They are in the description of the list. So hopefully that works. But anyways, sending out the link of the first channel. I'm shouting out it's MTGRIPZ or MTGRIPZ. They do some awesome little shorts of ripping open packs and stuff, and I've been a big fan of that channel for a while. It's a fun place to go for sure to see some pack openings on a daily basis, and he also gives some fun anecdotes about his life and stuff, talking about things he and his wife are doing and things that make it really kind of fun and personable that a lot of the other channels that rip packs just don't kind of do. So I enjoy watching that content, and that's why I wanted to say, give a shout out to MTG Rips and say thank you for being an awesome member of the MTG community. Apparently, I'm getting a phone call. Do I care? Not really. I am going to ignore that. That's actually the only Magic the Gathering channel that I'm planning to shout out today, I believe. I could shout out the professor, or I could shout out, say, who knows off the top of my head. Uh, Kenobi, what's his name? Anyways, there's a bunch of different Magic channels that you could shout out, but they're all like the really big content creators. They all, have so many people following them already. They don't really even probably know that I exist. But MTG Rips has actually been pretty cool and has commented on some of my posts before, and we've chatted in the Discord before too. So I enjoy having his company. And another one that I am going to post right now before I open the first pack is Red Sun. Red Sun actually is a really cool channel. I'm not sure if I've ever actually shouted it out on my channel, but I've been a fan of theirs for a really long time. They play a game called Cards, which is spelled with a K instead of a C, and it's actually like military tactician game based in World War II, I believe, for the most part. It's actually really cool. I've enjoyed that game on and off. It is a game that I struggle to, by any means, get anywhere near the top in. But and I am going to admit that I'm not fond of the rotation in the game, but otherwise, I really think it's an awesome strategy game. So I definitely encourage people to check it out. And Red Sun always posts these videos each season of the different games that he's participated in on his way to the top of the list. He usually hits somewhere in the top like 10 or 15 players most seasons, I believe. He's a really good card player. And he's been a really good supporter of the channel in the past too, always checking in on me and throwing out a like every now and again, and I really appreciate it. So I wanted to say thank you to you as well. And with that said, I think we will rip open a pack before we do the next one. Do. This one's just going to be a random pack. Is that going to hold? It was supposed to hold. I tested early. I tested it earlier. You can see I have the Pokemon playmat here. I'm trying to give Kaiba enough space for him to sleep, though, too. I'm going to do. There isn't really a good war set off the top of my head that I have a pack of right now, I don't think. But you know what could be entertaining? Is a nice Outlaws at Thunder Junction pack. It's been a while since we've opened one of these. See what we pull. Kaiba's decided to go take a nap. I am not going to try and remember which ones have pack tricks and which ones don't, so unfortunately sometimes you'll get a spoiler where the really cool card will be first, and other times, oh well, it'll be where it should be. Oh, we have a token at the front? Nope, just an ad card. Ad cards suck. Go over there, ad card. You don't matter. We have a really cool full art mountain though. I like that. Shackle Slinger. 2 and a blue, 3/2. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, choose target creature an opponent controls. If it is tapped, put a stun counter on it. Otherwise, you get to tap it. Not bad. Ooh, Full Art Fling. That's cool. As an initial cost to cast this, sacrifice a creature. It deals damage equal to the sacrificed creature's power to any target. A really fun instant for 1 red. 1 and a red, sorry. That's a good one. We got a Concealed Courtyard. I was hoping for a desert, but that's okay. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you have 2 or fewer lands, and gives you white or black. Still a pretty decent pull. Trash the Town. 1 green plus 2 to get 2+1/+1 counters on a creature, +1 to give that creature trample until end of turn, and +1 to say that until end of turn, target creature gets whenever this creature deals damage to a player, draw 2 cards. So if you're able to pay 4 in a green, you get a really cool card or combo effect to pull off. Sorry, I ate my food, I think, a little too fast to try and get up here, guys, and I'm just trying my best not to burp on stream, to be honest. Unscrupulous Contractor. 2 and a black for a 3/2. Whenever this thing enters the battlefield, you can sacrifice a creature. If you do, target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life. And it has plot. So when you pay 2 and a black, you can also exile this card from your hand, cast it as a sorcery on a later turn by paying its mana cost. Which means that it'll instantly go to the graveyard afterwards, but that's okay. Cool, Snoop is in. I wasn't expecting you, buddy. That's awesome. Glad to see you. Oh, I pulled that a little too hard. Please don't fall over. I just paid a massive amount of money to fix this camera phone. Speaking of which, for the record, be very careful not to drop your phones, people. I did not realize how much it cost to replace a screen. And while I could probably have actually used the money I spent to get the screen to actually start the cost for a new phone, I just really don't want a new phone. I like this one. It's really well designed, and it serves me well. Anyways, we have a legendary, and that is awesome. 2 white and a black for a 3/4. Baron, Bertram, Greywater. Whenever one or more tokens enter the battlefield under your control, create a 1/1 black vampire rogue creature token with lifelink. Can only happen once per turn, though. And pay 1 and a black, sacrifice another creature or artifact to draw a card. This thing is an insanely cool legendary. I am stoked that we pulled that. That's probably the best card in this pack, other than Fling and Trash the Town. So far we're looking at 3 pretty good hits, though. Plus that beautiful full art mountain. Cryptic Conviction. 1 black. As an initial cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature, draw 2 cards. It's alright. Peerless Rope Master, 4 and a blue, 4/4. When this thing enters the battlefield, return up to 1 target tapped creature to its owner's hand. Okay. Ambush Gigapede, 4 and 2 black, 6/2. When it does have flash, sorry, and when it enters battlefield, target creature an opponent controls gets -2/-2 until end of turn. Decent. Phantom Interference, 1 blue, and it's a spree card, so you can also pay 3 with that blue to get a 2/2 white spirit creature with flying, or 1 to counter a spell unless its controller pays 2, or 4 to get both. That's actually not bad. That can go to the front. Stagecoach Security, 4 and a white for 4/5. When this thing enters the battlefield, creatures you control get +1/+1 and vigilance until end of turn. And it has plot 3 and a white if you want to do it as a sorcery instead of a creature. Not bad. That can actually go to the front. Highway Robbery, 1 and a red for a sorcery that you can also plot. I'm not really sure why you want to do that necessarily. You may discard a card and sacrifice a land if you do draw 2 cards. Yeah. And yay! Way to go, Snoop! 2 and a green for a 2/3 Patient Naturalist. Enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards, put a land from among the milled cards into your hand. If you can't, you get a treasure token. I'll take that, actually. That's not bad. So, I mean, this pack was alright. We had a few good hits in it. The Naturalist is okay. Stagecoach Security is kind of good. I do like Phantom Interference. The Fling is cool to pull. I love a full art Fling. Trash the Town was a nice hit. And, of course, our legendary creature. Plus that beautiful full art mountain. So it's all our first pack. Just gonna move this to adjust this, and there we go. What did you miss? I've shouted out a couple channels. Kaiba ate a marrowbone, and we just opened our first pack. And I'll just show you the hits again real quick. You got the Naturalist, Stagecoach, Phantom Interference, Fling, Trash the Town, Baron, and a full art mountain. Not bad, not bad. Basically, I'm just doing a cool Thanksgiving stream, Snoop, because in Canada, as you well know, of course, it is Thanksgiving on Monday. But my dad is out of town today, so I figured I'd do it today. So I'm going to just keep posting links to different channels that I love and that I'm thankful for. The support that they've given me, or the content that they make just really makes me happy. Who should I do next? I want to actually make sure that I don't post the same one twice by accident, so I'll start deleting them off the list in my Word document, just in case. And I think what we'll do next is let's give a shout out to a new friend of mine. Copy. And back. And over. I know, 3-day weekend, it's the best. The only downside to the 3-day weekend for me is on Tuesday, it's going to be a brutal shift because we'll have all the trailers that the Americans sent over on the weekend plus on Monday, and we'll also have a plane coming in on the Tuesday like we would normally. Mondays typically we have all these extra trucks that we have to unload, but there's no plane, so it balances out to a certain degree. Whenever there's a holiday on a Monday, that Tuesday is just destructive. So this is the next channel I want to shout out. It is Ryan222 Graft. Um, this guy is really cool. I don't actually watch a lot of his content per se. I catch some when I can. He plays a lot of Fortnite, which I will admit is not a game that overly interests me, but he does make it kind of funny, which is cool. And I do like the fact that he plays with his wife a lot of the time, which I think is really neat too. Um, and the big thing that I love about Ryan is the fact that he's just such a huge supporter of everybody in his network. He's constantly like grabbing people's videos and sharing them to his channel so that everybody else can see on his community posts where they put different videos for different types of content. And I really enjoy that actually. It's really cool to see somebody so um inspired to promote everyone else in the hopes that and I don't even know if that's actually true, but I mean I believe that, you know, what you give you receive, and so I wanted to give a shout out to him basically. And I really appreciate all the times he shared my videos. In particular, he seems to be a pretty big fan of our new set versus old set series, which I think is awesome because that is actually one of my favorite series that I've started up. It's actually my favorite new series on the channel this year. Dollarama Draws to Destiny is still my favorite series of all time, but I really do enjoy the new set versus old set. And today, actually, I will spoil what the new set versus old set battle next time will be. I am going to reveal it again in the video next week as well, but I want to share it with you guys today as a bonus for tuning in. I'm just picking one more channel that I want to shout out. I think we'll go with that one. Actually, no, I think we'll go with this one. And this is one we've shouted out before on the channel. I do enjoy her content though as well, and that is Dr. Angel. Dr. Angel's content is really neat because she's an actual doctor and she wants to try and promote like healthy wellness as well as playing video games, which is really cool because there's so many health professionals and there's so much negative um, content about video games in the media realm, say like the news and things like that. So it's really nice to see somebody who is so positive about the idea that gaming can be used in a health focused way to actually benefit your life, which I think is really cool. Um, so yeah, those are two really cool channels to check out. I have shouted out Dr. Angel on this channel before, but I'm always happy to give her another shout out. And like I say, Ryan is just a really cool guy that I've recently come across and definitely deserves some love as well. And I actually wanted to open something cool that I thought Ryan would enjoy. So I pulled out one of my few remaining Infinity packs to open for this particular set of shoutouts. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that. Just so you know, Snoop, the other thing you missed, we have a fat stack of packs. I'm not going to open all of them, but I'm going to open probably another five, six at least, because I know I have the time. And since I just took Kaiba out for a WALK before this, there is no reason that anything should rush us today. So we will open the Infinity. God damn. I've been getting a lot of extra hours at work, so I threw in a few extra dollars to grab some packs this morning. I didn't go crazy. I only spent $65, so I mean, yeah, that seems like a lot, but it's not a crazy amount in the terms of Magic. The rest of these were just kicking around in my drawer. I still actually have, even after that stack, these are the ones I have remaining after that for openings at other points. And then we do have our next set that I was saying I was going to show you. So, our new set versus old set battle next time around. I just opened a pack. Let's do the pack first, and then I will show you that. Again, ADHD. My brain just mile a minute. Okay, here we go. We opened a Infinity pack for Graft, Ryan, and Dr. Angel, and we got a hat trick to kick us off. Target blocking or block creature you control gets +1/+1, gains first strike until end of turn. If it has a hat, it gains double strike until end of turn. If you and that creature have a hat, that creature gains triple strike until end of turn. That is insane. I want to make sure I wear a hat when I play this card, apparently. Down for repairs, 2 and a black. Target opponent reveals their hand, you choose a non-land card from it. That player discards that card. Destroy up to 1 target attraction that player controls. Interesting. Wizards of the Blank. 2 and 2 blue for a 3/1. Ew. When this creature enters the battlefield, you may put a name sticker on it. Then look at the top X cards of your library where X is a number of unique vowels in that sticker. Put one of those cards in your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. And Y does count as a vowel in this case. Flitter Flitter. Ooh, I think that's actually cool if I remember correctly. 2 and a blue for a 2/2 flying. When it enters the battlefield, you get a ticket, then you can put a sticker on. Oh, that's a good one. I did like that one. Nice. Mistakes were made. I don't think I've pulled that before. Instant. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Create a 1/1 green squirrel creature token for each fire extinguisher you can see from your seat. I love Infinity. It's so random. Blank Goblin. 2 and a red for a 2/2. When this enters the battlefield, you can put a name sticker on it and then add red for each unique vowel in that sticker. Neat. Juggletron. 2 and a red for a 0/4 with trample. When it attacks, you can put an art sticker on it. And this thing gains +3/+0 for each item in its art that's not touching the Juggletron, another item, or the card frame. So as long as you can get a bunch of little tiny stickers in here, you can give this thing like +12 for attack. That is pretty crazy. Blank, 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 trespasser. Wait, really? Blank, blank, blank. Okay. 1 and a blue for a 2/1. When it enters the battlefield, you can put a name sticker on it. Pay 3 and a blue. This creature gets +1/+0 or until end of turn for each name sticker on it, and it can't be blocked this turn. So you can add up to 3 name stickers to this one. Interesting. Still not super great though because it has a weak butt. So wouldn't be my first pick for a deck. Ballerina. 3 and a blue for a 3/3 flying. When it enters the battlefield, you can put a name sticker on a non-land permanent you own. Pay 2 and a blue. Another target creature with a name sticker on it gains flying until end of turn. Nice. That actually is pretty decent. I like that. Ooh, we got a new legendary for the decks. It is an acorn one, so it'll only work for, of course, our Infinity decks when we start building those. But for now, it's still pretty cool to look at. It's a 2 green, 2/3 cat performer. Pay a green, tap, put 2/+1/+1 counters on a creature with 4 or more legs. Pay 1 and 2 green, tap until end of turn. All creatures able to block target creature with 4 or more legs do so. Interesting. It's a weird legendary, but I like it. Darn! We only pulled the island. Shucks. Still really cool full art, but I was hoping we were going to pull one of those neat Shocklands. Granted, Shocklands are going down in price, but still, always fun to pull a Shockland. Foam Weapons Kiosk. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. That creature gains vigilance until end of turn. I'm not sure if we've pulled that one before. That's a pretty neat attraction. If we have or haven't pulled it, I still like it. We definitely have pulled bumper cars before. Bumper cars is okay. We don't need more copies of it though that badly. And motion sickness. 3 and a blue, enchant creature. Enchanted creature enters the battle or no, when this enters the battlefield, sorry, tap enchanted creature. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. Whenever you visit an attraction, you may attach motion sickness to tapped target creature. Okay, that's kind of cool. You can move this around every time you visit an attraction to a different creature. That's pretty neat. I like that actually. Cricketbot and Wrinkly Monkey Shenanigans, Spider Wizard Hat, and Axe. Pretty sure I've pulled that one before, but I can't swear to by it. Still, not bad. Hit of that pack has probably got to be the kitty cat, I would think. But I do love the ballerina as well, so I'll put that towards the front. And of course, the hit from this pack was definitely, in my opinion, Baron followed by Trash the Town. Baron is a sick legendary for sure, and having an extra copy of him is really good for me. All right. Anyways, how is everybody doing out there? Anybody got plans for the weekend? Well, I fetched the next link. Do 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 do. I know which one I want to fetch next. I just have to get it. Hopefully, you guys are going to have a good holiday weekend for those of you who have one. I missed that. The stream is kind of quiet. Oh, I'm sorry. I need to speak louder. I was asking if there was anything that you had planned for the holidays, this upcoming holiday. Let me just check and see if I'm wondering if maybe that'll make it better. Is that on? No, that's not on. Okay, how do I get that on? I need to get that on. Crap. Did that well, that came back, but this one didn't. Hmm. Do do do. Still not working, eh? Just trying to see if I can get the microphone to work. Sorry, Snoop. Give me a second. I'll get right to your comment there. I do see it. I'm just not sure why the microphone isn't going. Oh, that's probably why. It didn't pick the device. There we go. Okay, does that work? Is it louder now? Dinner tonight, and that's about it. That's not bad, though. At least you got something planned. I think my dad wants to do a dinner on the weekend at some point, but I'm not sure when. The big plan that he wants to do is we're going to fix or put in a new door for inside the house to go into the garage. That is like his big project, which we're going to be working on tomorrow. So that's another reason why I knew I had to do this today. Um, Tomorrow's video, if I a wee bit, well, a wee bit's better than nothing. I mean, maybe I can tilt it towards me or something, or I can just bring the mic closer to me, I guess. If I can balance it and not drop the darn thing. I just don't want to shout and upset Kaiba, that's all. He's taking a nap still. I will show you the Kaiba. The Kaiba is over there. Oh yeah? That's actually neat. I'm glad you enjoy fixing stuff around the house. Maybe I can get you to come and do it with my dad instead of me. I don't mind doing like different repairs and like I have no problem doing chores like cleaning and whatever. I just prefer to do it on my own. I'm not really a huge fan of doing stuff with my family, mainly because that always seems to end in arguments and fighting. So not a huge fan of that part necessarily. But yeah. So, Kaiba, like I say, is just over there chilling, chilling like a villain. I don't think he's going to come back to participate much more in this stream, unfortunately. But oh well. See if that mic being next to me now is better. Hopefully it'll help. But yeah, I did get the channel. I just did not post it yet. So this is the first channel I want to shout out next. And while I'm posting that one, I will fetch the second one because they're both going to go together really nicely. The first channel I want to shout out is MatCave Gaming. I've been a member of MatCave Gaming. It's one of the only channels that I'm actually a member of for a little bit now. I really enjoy um, not only his gameplay, first off, which is really cool, but he's actually just really very open to supporting people a lot. Like, again, like Ryan is, for example. Um, likes to shout out other people's channels, try to promote them to get to reach their sub milestone goals and things of that nature. And the big thing he does on his channel, which is actually really neat, and I would love to do it on my channel if I could afford it, but I just don't have that kind of cash. At least not from the States. He did recommend that there is possibly a service like this in Canada somewhere, but I'm not sure where, and I haven't had the time to look it up. But what he does is he orders from something called VGM, which stands for Video Game Monthly. He gets a box of like four to, let's say, I think it's supposed to be five is what he gets now. But you can get anywhere from like three to like seven or eight, I think, even video games. And like each month they send you like either used or sometimes even factory sealed games um, for whatever systems you want. And as long as you keep track of what you've received and check them off on a list, you will never receive the same game twice. And it just helps you build your collection, which is really cool. Um, like I say, the downside is, of course, since we live in Canada, Snoop, we're going to pay out the butt for first off the shipping, and then second off for the um, currency conversion. So, what looks like something that's affordable on their end, I think if I wanted to get four games, I think was the original one I was looking at, which is like $35 or $45 US, which again, if you're in the States, that actually doesn't seem that bad, even with the shipping, maybe if you have to actually pay shipping. I'm not sure if you pay it on top of that or not. You're still going to only be paying maybe $60 for like four or five games. That's not bad. And like they're all in pretty good condition usually. Oh, customs too. I didn't even think about customs. That is actually another nonsensical thing that would suck. It's actually kind of funny because customs has been driving me nuts lately. On one hand, I am getting a whole bunch of extra hours because of customs, but on the other hand, I am doing a whole bunch of extra work because of customs. I guess a bunch of stuff got held up at the border a week or two ago, and because of that, we're still getting like a whole bunch of extra things that show up in our country that have to be held in customs until they get released. So we're just moving them from one place in the factory to another place for storage until that time is done. It's really fun. It's really silly, actually, to be honest. And that's the other channel I wanted to shout out. This is Spidey Librarian, and this is a new channel. Oop, darn, mic fell over. I thought that might happen if I tried to put it there. Spidey Librarian is another channel that I've recently discovered, and I'm thoroughly enjoying. The dude is obsessed with Spider-Man, which is awesome because I love anybody who can totally nerd out about something they love, and he definitely does. Um, he likes to swoop and flick the webs in his streams when people arrive and leave. He has like Spider-Man gloves and all kinds of neat memorabilia. really cool guy. But he does like way more than just Spider-Man stuff, of course. Like he does all kinds of different comic book related things. He does movie watch-alongs and really neat stuff. So I'm really enjoying his channel actually a lot lately. And Matt Cave actually is where I came across his channel. And Matt Cave was doing a giveaway um, a couple months ago for one of those VGM boxes that I talked about. And he gave that box to Spidey, and then Spidey opened it on his channel. And that's what got me into watching Spidey's channel. And now I'm completely hooked. I'm really enjoying a lot of his stuff. And he's very friendly and reminds me a lot of myself, which is neat. And he is actually a librarian, which is pretty cool too. Or at least he works at a library. I'm not exactly sure what he does specifically there, but it's really neat. So I'm in honor of Spidey being the new channel that I wanted to shout out. I don't think Matt Cave would mind. We're going to rip open the first ever Spider-Man booster on this channel. I have not ripped one of these yet. And speaking of Spider-Man, before we rip this, as I said, we are going to be doing new set versus old set, new series in 2 weeks. Our final pack battle for Brothers War versus Edge of Eternities is coming up. When that pack battle is done, we will be moving on to Spider-Man as our new set because Avatar didn't come out in time. Versus Dominaria. I thought old school Dominaria would make for a really interesting battle against Spider-Man. Um, I've only cracked a couple packs of Dominaria before, and the place where I get my packs, which I'm going to shout out for the first time live today. I've been keeping this a secret for myself because I didn't want people to slip in there and steal all the old packs on me. But I feel like they really deserve it. And again, in the spirit of Thanksgiving, I want to shout out Rookies Card Store, Sports Cards and Collectibles Store. Rookies is insanely cool. So Rookies is where I got the Dominaria packs, and I got the last seven that they had. So they let me take the box with me too. So I got the cool artwork for the box, which I'm actually really happy with. It is a little bit damaged, but I mean, I just really like the artwork on it, and I thought, you know what, if you guys wouldn't mind letting me have it, I would love to take that. And they said, sure. Rat colonies incoming. Oh, I would love to pull some rat colonies. I want to build a rat deck. I didn't even realize rat colonies were in that series. That is awesome. Hopefully, we will pull a few of those then. Um, the other thing I wanted to mention, actually, you know what? We'll open the Spider-Man pack first, and then I will mention that other thing and do some more shoutouts, and we'll just keep going. I'm planning to go till probably 3:30. I'm probably going to open at least another 5 of these packs, I figure, because it'll be fun. And I'm just really in the mood to be thankful to everybody who has been supporting me. As I said at the beginning of this stream, it just means so much to me how much this channel has grown, how much love and support I have from a variety of different content creators, most of whom have way bigger audiences than I do. And so it really means a lot to me to have that kind of appreciation from other people. So here we go for this one. First ever Spider-Man pack. Let's see what we pull. We got a spider token with reach, and the other side, ooh, illusionary villain. We got like a Mysterio token. That's pretty cool. I did not know that Mysterio had a token in this series. That is really neat. I actually like that. Hopefully, Spidey Librarian will see this live stream and he'll really appreciate that because he is going to love all the artwork on these cards coming up. First card, we have a Spider Web Swamp. That is sick. I really like this full art. I like the fact that they went with a purple background to go with the black. Purple and black is actually one of my absolute favorite color combinations. Mysterio's one of your fave villains? That's awesome. Who's my favorite Spider-Man villain? Mysterio is good for sure. I mean, Goblin is always a classic choice for sure. But I mean, if I were to pick one and only one to really love, it would be a tie between Craven and Doc Ock. I really do enjoy Doc Ock most of the time, d- regardless of what series or movie series, comic book series, etc., cartoon. Doc Ock always gets like really good treatment and is played well, I find. Um, but Craven, I really always thought was fun. The idea that he's hunting like Spider-Man because Spider-Man's like the best prey to catch, and I've always thought that was really neat. So I think Craven's my favorite. Oh, shooters! Oh, that's supposed to be a good one, I think, if I remember correctly. One and a white. By the way, if there was a pack trick to this, oops. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has reach, and whenever equipped creature attacks, tap target creature an opponent controls. Nice! It's actually really good. Their work's pretty neat on that too. And it's a hollow, so yeah. I would call that a win. Ooh, we got a Gwen Stacy! Ah, Spidey Librarian will love that. One in a red for a legendary creature, human performer hero, 2/1. When Gwen Stacy enters, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card for as long as you control this creature. Then you can pay 2 blue, red, and white Transformer at sorcery speed, and she becomes Ghost Spider. Ooh. Flying Vigilance Haste. Damn. 4/4. Whenever you play a land from exile or cast a spell from exile, put a +1/+1 counter on Ghost Spider. Remove 2 counters from Ghost Spider. Exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. Wow! That is insane! That is a really cool legendary, and I'm loving the artwork on this one. That is a huge hit, guys. I think that might be my favorite pull so far today. Alright, we're gonna flip this back over. I didn't want you guys to be spoiled on whatever the next card was. It was a Spots Portal. Put target creature on the bottom of its owner's library. You lose 2 life unless you control a villain. Well, I'm going to probably be losing 2 life, but I do like the fact that you get to put it on the bottom instead of it getting stuck on the top, and they just get to play it again. Robotics Mastery. 4 and a blue, flash, enchant creature. When this aura enters, create 2/1/1 colorless robot artifact creature tokens with flying. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2. Not bad. There was definitely a pack trick, and I messed this one up. Sorry. I'll remember this, though, for when we do new set versus old set, hopefully. Web Crawl. 3 and a green. When this enchantment enters, create a 2/1 green spider creature token with reach. Then you gain 1 life for each spider you control. Ooh. That could be really good for the spider deck I want to build. I want to build a Shelob deck at some point. This could definitely be a Shelob hit for sure. Yeah, you can see Gwen Stacy again. Of course you can. Try to get it so the light's not like right in her artwork. There we go. That's good. I love the fact that she's slamming down on those drums. That is really cool. Plus, she's got the web to bring this drumstick right back. That is like a really neat little extra bit to the artwork. And then the other side is just so nice. I am really digging this as a commander. I think this could be a really fun commander choice. I casually just pulled a $40 card. Well, that is an awesome way to start off our Spider-Man run then. Bravo to us. That's okay. 30 is still good. 30 is still good. I'm still admiring this web crawl. When it enters, create a 2/1 green spider creature token with reach. Then you gain 1 life for every spider you control.
If I put this in a Shelob deck, I'm getting a ton of life off this. Technically 35 with conversion. And then spiders that control get +1/+1 can't be blocked by creatures with defender. Definitely going in my spider deck when I build Shelob. Common Crook. 1 and a black for a 2/2 human rogue villain. When this creature dies, create a treasure token. I'm not going to knock treasure tokens, they're always useful. Mysterio's Phantasm, to go with our illusion villain. Flying Vigilance, whenever this creature attacks, mill a card. 1/3 for a 1 and a blue. Not bad. Not bad at all. I do like the artwork on that. I'm disappointed it didn't make the token. I was really actually, when I first looked at that, I was like, that definitely is going to make the token. I mean, the artwork almost matches 1-to-1, but nope, does not make the token. We need to get the actual Mysterio to do that. Steel Wrecking Ball, 5. That's a lot. When it enters, deals 5 damage to target creature, pay 1 in a red, discard this card, destroy target artifact. Probably not going to put that into many decks. That is expensive. The discard ability is probably better than the actual regular ability. And the other thing is, once it enters, it does nothing. Once it enters, it actually does nothing. What is the point of that? That is a terrible card. Eerie Gravestone, 2. When it enters, draw a card. Pay 1 in a black. Sacrifice it. Mill 4 cards. You can put a creature from among those cards into your hand. See, now that makes more sense. That's a useful card. Electro's Bolts. I've heard this one's a good one. 2 in a red. Deals 4 damage to target creature and it has Mayhem 1 in a red. You can cast this from your graveyard for 1 in a red if you discarded it this turn. Ooh, that's interesting. Neat. It goes back to the graveyard, I guess, because it doesn't say anything about exiling it here, so I guess you could play it from your graveyard, goes back to your graveyard, and then if you can get it back to your hand, you can keep doing this over and over, which would be kind of cool. City Pigeon! We pulled one of those cards that everybody was like complaining about existing because they kind of ruin the way Magic feels to a certain extent. And I can understand that. Uh, I'm not happy to see a hot dog on a Magic card, to be honest. I think that's a little bit extreme. Flying, when this creature leaves the battlefield, you make a food token. It's a 1/1 for 1. White. Eh. Ooh, grow extra arms. 1 and a green. Cost 1 less to cast if it targets a spider. Target creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn. Decent. Also could go in Shelob's deck pretty nicely. And News Helicopter. 3 for a 1/1 flying. When it enters, create a 1/1 green and white human citizen creature token. Presumably to go into the helicopter. I love that cards. I love that card. Oh, I bought a set for my mom. She loves birds. Aw. Oh, I'm glad that she likes it. I mean, this is the thing. I want everybody to enjoy Magic. So while I don't necessarily want to see a hot dog on my card, if it gives you joy, I'm happy for you. Personally, I think actually too many people are like poo-pooing on this set, to put it in a way without like swearing. Too many people are being really down on this set, and I think that there are certain arguments that I can appreciate. For example, the idea that there's just way too many legendaries in this set. Sure, that's probably a thing. Um, Granted, we only pulled one legendary out of this pack. It's a good legendary for sure, but we only pulled one legendary out of this pack, so it's not like we're pulling like crazy amounts of legendaries. But the next 7 packs could be completely different. Um, on the other hand, though, I think that what really makes me sad is just the fact that it wasn't a huge flavor hit per se. In terms of like, they didn't build like a story behind the cards. I would have loved to have seen like an actual through storyline from start to finish based on Peter Parker or based on Miles. I always forget what his last name is. Sorry. But like Morales, I think is what it is. But I don't want to swear to it. Like I would love to see that kind of thing more than I want to see a set that is just purely everything you can possibly throw at it. Which is why, while I'm really excited about Avatar because Avatar seems to be focused specifically on the last Airbender, and it doesn't have anything to do with Korra, as far as I know. I'm actually really nervous for Ninja Turtles in February or March, whenever it's coming out. I love Ninja Turtles. It's one of my favorite IPs from my childhood. I have an old school Ninja Turtles shirt sitting on the floor over here. Try to get it without bumping the camera. Show you guys. It is one of my favorite t-shirts. It's got like the classic Ninja Turtles at the top there, and it's fading a lot, but you can see still like the turtles hanging out and eating pizza. I absolutely adore Ninja Turtles. So for me, if Ninja Turtles ends up being the way Spider-Man is, I'm actually going to be really disappointed. I would love to see a storyline Ninja Turtles series. I think that would be a lot of fun. And I would totally get into that flavor. And I'm actually setting aside a little bit of money for Ninja Turtles coming February because I'm that excited for it if it actually will be good. But I am definitely keeping an eye out for the reveals because if the spoilers show that it's going to be more like Spider-Man, I'll buy some, but I'm probably not going to go all in the way I am for Avatar. Avatar, we have a box of Jumpstart coming and a box of Play Boosters coming. So there's going to be lots of openings on this channel for Avatar, and I'm really excited for that. I'm also going to try to get at least one or two collector's packs. I'm not going to buy a ton of them because I can't afford it. But if we can pull that really sick looking five eye roll color avatar, I would be so stoked to use that as a commander. I still personally feel that it should have been four colors, not five. I really don't think Aang should have black. I think black should have been reserved for Ozai. Black should have been reserved for Zuko when he like first chapter Zuko. Azula, of course. Like you know what I mean? Like black should have been reserved more for the villains. I think that the four elemental colors should have been reserved as the elementals, like the elements, and then black should have just been applied vigorously to villains, essentially, is what I feel would have been better flavor for the set. But that's me. Again, I don't want to poo poo on anybody's stuff. So, with all that said, um, I want to post a couple more links and then we will keep going. Who do we want to do next? We want to do. Yeah. We're going to do a classic friend of mine, and then we will do another one of those ones that is new to our group. So. Do, do, do. Next channel I want to shout out and say some thanks to is TRO. TRO is insanely good at Resident Evil games. He is in the hit list group. Um, I say quotes because I know that they have an actual proper name, but I can't remember what it is, so I apologize. So I just call you guys the hit list group. Basically, they succeed in no damage, no save runs of different games, and then they all get to join this special group. And he's done several of those, and he's really good at it. But what I actually love is just, again, like a lot of these people that I've shouted out already and that I'm going to continue to shout out, most people are just very chill. I go for people who are chill. Those are the kinds of streamers and content creators that I love. I'm really not a fan of the loud, boisterous, like, Commander, get in your face, like, sub to me, like me kind of creators. I'm more for, like, honest, down to earth kind of people. And I really enjoy TRO's content. Recently, he got his wife to start participating in a couple of these streams, and she's really funny, and it's very enjoyable. Um, so if you like that kind of stuff, like Resident Evil, if you like, I believe he's done Hitman before as well. Those are definitely like some things that you can find if you go over his channel. And another friend I want to shout out, a new one, is Raider of the Cosmos. Raider of the Cosmos and I have recently become pretty good friends. He has been commenting on several of my videos, and I've been trying to pop into his live streams when I can. He actually made me a mod, which is kind of neat. I'm a mod for a few channels, but not very many, so I always find that like a really big privilege when somebody's willing to do that. And yeah, he does a variety of different games for his content, which is really interesting as well. And he partners up with one of his really good friends a lot of the time too for his live streams. And they play games together, which is also a neat thing to see. So yeah, definitely a fun creator to check out, as is, of course, TRO. So if you guys are enjoying some video games, I'm very grateful to both of those streamers and content creators for the support they've given me. And I actually picked out a pack specifically for Cosmos. Um, you know, it seemed fitting. Cosmos, Edge of Eternities. I kind of thought that seemed like a really neat little, irony. No? Hopefully. Hopefully other people will laugh at that besides me. Anyways, I was saying before that we are down to our last pack of Jumpstart. I am considering getting a box of 2022 if I can find it, but I still haven't been able to find one so far. Um, if I do, that's what we'll be opening from now until Avatar arrives. But if not, we have one last Foundations pack to open on Monday, and then that'll be it. Robot and Munitions. Munitions is actually a really neat one. I've only pulled one copy of this so far, but I kind of think it's a neat artifact, and I want to see what makes it. Instead of it giving you instead of it like giving life the way food does, this one deals damage, which is kind of neat. Same idea though. You have to find ways to sacrifice it, I'm assuming, or something. Again, I haven't actually come across a card that lets me play munitions yet, I don't think. Divert Disaster! Counter target spell unless its controller pays 2. If they do, you get a lander. It is one of my favorite new counter spells, to be honest. I am enjoying that blue spell because I do like the fact that we didn't pull a lander, of course. If you tap a lander and sacrifice it, you get mana. It's pretty nice. Or no, you get to fetch a land. Sorry. There's a red enchantment that makes ammunitions really good in a Ragas deck. Oh, did you see the latest episode of New Set versus Old Set, Snoop? Speaking of the lobster, Vanishing Light, 2 and a white. When it enters, exile target non-land permanent opponent controls until it leaves the battlefield. Meh. I've always disliked those kinds of cards. They're just big targets. Hmm. I'm not sure whether you have. It's okay. If you haven't, you haven't. Um, I just think that it's really funny that you mentioned Ragest. That's all. I don't want to spoil anything else per se for you, but just know that you made a really interesting comment there. Don't worry. I take no offense. You take your time, buddy. If you catch up on my videos, you do. If you have to skip a few and start watching newer ones now, that's fine too. You do what you do. I I love the fact that you always tune in. It means the world to me. This is true. You do leave comments on the videos you watch. But I also noticed that sometimes the algorithm doesn't feed the videos to you, so that's why I wasn't sure if you'd actually seen it or not. So I figured I'd throw that out there and just see. Anyways, we've got Sammy's Curiosity. One green, gain 2 life, and you get a lander. That's what I was talking about. I love these landers because pay 2, sacrifice the lander, you get to search your library for a basic land, put it onto battlefield tap, so you're just getting an extra land for your next turn. It's pretty nice. Well, you are a good lad too, Snoop. You are a good lad too. Slag Drill Scrapper. 1 red for a 1/2, pay 2, tap, sacrifice another artifact or land, draw a card. Yes. Oh, by the way, don't we announced the winner of the Commander Core Creator Challenge, Snoop. You have picked the commander for next month. We are doing Gix. There was another person who actually commented on the post on the YouTube channel that their choice would have either been Gix or what was the other one they wanted to do? They wanted to do the wall. That was the other one they wanted to do. But they brought up a good point that like if you built the wall deck and then it went up against any deck, like a whole series of decks that don't want to do combat, you would essentially be stalled out. I can see the point of that, but I mean, yeah. But their second choice was Gix, and I thought, well, you picked Gix, they picked Gix as a second choice, so fudge it. Let's do Gix. I like Gix too. Plus, black and Halloween just feels right. So I figure we'll all make mono black decks and have them ready for October 30th. And then on the 31st, I'll put out a video highlighting the really neat, different mono black decks that everybody comes up with. Beauvoir Lightjammer. 1 and a blue flash. When an equipment enters, attach it to target creature you control. That creature gets hexproof, and equipped creature gets +1/+2. That's pretty decent. Starfighter Pilot. 1 and a white for a 2/2. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, surveil one. Ooh, I kind of like that. Tap this a bunch for spaceships, and then you get to surveil your deck. That's pretty nice. Zookeeper Mechan. 1 and a red for a 1/3. Tap to add red. Good start. 6 and a red. Target creature you control gets +4/+0 until end of turn. Okay, that second ability kind of sucks, but the first ability is really good. And it's got 1/3, so I mean, that's pretty decent too as a blocker. Not bad, not bad. Pulled some decent ones in this pack so far. Nothing like crazy, but decent ones. Earthros? Uthros. I'm gonna go with Uthros. Uthros Scanship. 3 and a blue for a 4/4 with flying if you get 8 counters onto it. And when it comes into play, you get to draw 2 cards and discard a card. Yeah, okay. I'll take that spacecraft. That's a pretty decent spacecraft. Definitely will work in a deck that wants to draw cards. Tragic Trajectory. 1 black. Target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. Void, it gets -10/-10 instead if a non-land permanent left the battlefield or a spell was warped. If I pull Horizon Explorer or Ice Till Explorer, I'm losing my mind. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Stalker Ardent. 2 and a red for a 2/3. Whenever another creature or artifact you control enters, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent, and it has Warp 1 red. Okay. Glacier Godma. Ooh, we've pulled this once before, but this one's actually pretty cool, if I remember correctly. 5 and 2 green for a 6/6 trample. When it enters, you get a lander, and whenever a land enters, creatures control get +1/+1 in vigilance and haste until end of turn. Yeah. This one's insane. I like this a lot, actually. This boy gets really beefy. He gives you a land if you can get the lander in and then sacrifice the lander in the same turn. And definitely a solid deck for landfall decks. So yeah, beautiful pull. Let's still explore.
And I choked to death on the stream. Snoop, we pulled it. We pulled it. Lose your mind. I can play an additional land on each of my turns. I can play lands from my graveyard whenever a land I control enters. I mill a card. Get the fuck out. I will not. You called this. You called this card. That card goes amazingly well with the Cosmo that came right before it. Two cards playing off each other are insane. What a crazy combo this would be in a landfall deck. The landfall deck that I built before, I had to pull a few things out of it to put into other decks, but I'm going to probably put these two into it and actually start running that deck. I might. I really might. This is awesome as a combo. Every time a land enters because of this thing, this gives +1/+1 vigilance and haste to everything. That card goes amazing with anything and everything. Milling yourself into playing more lands, like what? This is true. This is very true. And tragic trajectory. Did we get that twice in the same pack? We did. We pulled tragic trajectory twice. You know what? I'm not going to complain about that though. Considering what we just pulled at the end of the pack, I'm not going to complain about that at all. And what was our land for this one? It was just a swamp. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, so we've hit a couple of really huge hits today. Yeah, Zimone would go insane with one of those in there for sure. Oh my god, Zimone would be mad with one of those in there. I've actually decided I'm not going to change or alter my Zimone deck in any way, shape, or form. I like mine as a precon. I have like N precons. I want to take them to like my LGS and just try and encourage people to play a precon game with me where they can pick one of my precons and use it to battle with me in a precons game. Because I think that's more fair than a lot of people who come in with like bracket 2 decks that really everybody knows are more like bracket 3 or even bracket 4 just because they don't have an actual game changer card doesn't mean that the spirit of the deck isn't what it was always. For example, Slivers. Anyone who wants to tell me that Slivers is bracket 2 is ridiculous. There is nothing you can do to reduce the level of Slivers enough that I would consider it bracket 2, to be perfectly honest. I really don't think you could. Ended the game with 27 lands while my opponents had 7 and 8. Zimone is so much fun. Ah. So we've pulled Baron Bertram, Jermaine Pride of the Circus, Gwen Stacy, and Icetal Explorer. So far, we've just been like, the hits keep on coming today. Oh. 280 Scoot Swarms? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That would be a big board of Scoot Swarms. I've got 7 channels left that I want to shout out. Oh. Let's go with that one next. Please sleeve Gwen Stacy and Icetal. Okay, okay, okay. I'll get some sleeves. Hold on. Hold on. I have these nice new gooseberry sleeves that I've been saving for a deck. I just haven't decided which deck I want to put them in. I will sleeve Gwen Stacy and Icetal right away. I like the color. We don't want Snoop to go insane. There you go, Snoop. They are precious, they are safe, they are sleeved. How much is Ice Tilt going for right now? I bet that's probably pretty high up there right now too. It is. I know. I'm really impressed with that gooseberry. It was one of the newer ones. There was this one and there was a different color that was like a similar shade, but it was pink. I didn't mind the pink, but I of course am like green is my favorite color, particularly evergreen. So I of course went with goose as a result of that, but I still Explorer is gorgeous for sure. Definitely a gorgeous card. I think Gwen Stacy might be prettier though, to be perfectly honest. At least artwork wise. This is definitely way better in terms of like gameplay wise. For sure. Hands down. 1618, not bad, not bad at all. So the next channel we're shouting out. We have shouted out before on this channel. It is the Gaming Grandma. I love going to Gaming Grandma streams. Particularly the Lord of the Rings streams are some of my absolute favorites. Although any game she plays where she can die is actually really funny. Uh, she's a heck of a time doing it too. So don't get me wrong. Like we're not in there like being mean about it or anything. She enjoys playing these games, and she knows full well. Like for example, what was the game that she was really having a hard time with sometimes? Uncharted, I think. One of the versions of Uncharted she was doing. And like the amount of times she died trying to hop from rock to rock and things like that. This is true. Gwen Stacy and I still have basically paid for this stream so far, for sure. I still like I know it's not probably worth a lot of money, but I still think Baron is actually a really good pull too, to be perfectly honest. Every every turn, if you make a token, you get an extra token, and you can sacrifice anything to draw a card. That's pretty decent. Pretty decent as an engine, for sure. But as I was saying, Gaming Grandma, her streams are hilarious. And she has a lot of fun with her community, and I love how she refers to all of us as her grandkids, which is really nice. And recently I've learned she's actually a college football fan, and it's hilarious how into that she is as well. I would not have expected that from her. So, yeah, lots of good stuff from her channel. And I'm going to do her channel as an individual shout out because I have one special pack that I bought just for her today. It is our one of our favorite things to open on this channel. And a shout back to our most recent new set versus old set. It is the one, the only Lord of the Rings. Now, I have no intention of pulling something insane out of this, so if we do, I will be shocked for sure, because I'm pretty sure I've gotten all the luck I could possibly get, from this set. But there is one card from Lord of the Rings that I am still chasing, and if I can pull it today, that would totally make my Thanksgiving stream all the better. I would be so grateful for that pull. And that is the four-colored Aragon. I have yet to pull that four-colored Aragon card. I've got the original Aragorn from the commander deck, and I love playing that commander deck. It's one of my favorite commander decks. It's another one of those precons that I haven't touched at all. I had actually changed a couple cards out of it, and I put it back to the way it originally was, specifically because I want to be able to play that in precon games. So if I could pull that other Aragorn, it would totally make my day for sure. But I'm not expecting that by any means. But this pack is definitely going out to Grandma because Grandma loves her Lord of the Rings too. So I know she's going to enjoy the artwork on this one if she happens to catch this live stream later. Definitely a beautiful artwork on that one. Which one is that? Realm Seekers. I like the artwork on that one a lot. We got a Primal Cocoon. What the heck? Was I supposed to do a pack trick and I forgot again? I did forget. Son of a diddly. Oh well. We're gonna go from the back to the front. You kind of saw the best card at the end there. My bad. Sorry. We got a Shiny Plains. Ooh, that's pretty nice. I do love these full art ones of the like maps. They are some of my favorite lands for sure. We got ourselves a Took Reaper. One and a white for a 2/1. When it dies, the ring tempts you. Eh. Brandywine Farmer. I don't think I've pulled that before. Two and a green for a 1/1. When it enters or leaves the battlefield, create a food token. Nice. No, I haven't pulled that one before. I'm pretty happy with that, actually. Always nice to pull a new Lord of the Rings card. Revive the Shire. Return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. Create a food token. Yeah, okay. I can't complain about that at all either. I don't know if I pulled that one very much either. Some pretty good starts with the commons, at least. Enraged Huron. Huorn. Four and a green, trample. When this thing enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you. It's a 4/5. Okay. I do want to eventually build a tree folk deck too. So many decks I would love to build at some point, but you know, magic is expensive. Return target spell to its owner's hand, draw a card. Reprieve is a pretty good spell. I like that. That's a nice instant. I don't think I've pulled that one before either. Ooh, we got another Eowyn, Lady of Rohan. This is a sick legendary. I love this one. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature of your choice gains first strike or vigilance. Your choice. And if the creature is equipped, it gets both though. And equip abilities cost one less to cast, one less to activate. She is awesome. She is fierce. I love this lady. Definitely a good pull. So far, the only bad pull is the Took Reaper. Not that I want to jinx the rest of the pack, but I'm just saying, I'm pretty impressed. Strider, Ranger of the North! Not the one I wanted, but it is a good pull, guys! Two red, green, 4/4 landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. If that creature has power 4 or greater after the +1/+1, it also gets first strike. Pretty sick. The legendaries in this pack are totally badass, and I've never pulled that one. I've pulled Eowyn, but Strider is a new one for me. I am really happy with that, actually. Ooh, Legerless, counter of kills. I've pulled him a couple times, but he is an excellent pull for sure. Reach, whenever you scry, if this thing is tapped, you can untap it, but only once per turn. And whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you put a +1/+1 counter on this. So this guy gets pretty beefy. There is a Gimli that is actually really cool too. And I want to build a deck where I can combine them, but I need a green, red, blue commander that I actually really think would be good for those two. And so far, I haven't decided on one that I enjoy. However, if I can find a green, red, blue commander that I like, I could put Strider, Legolas, and Gimli all into a deck together, and that would be really fun. Ooh, Eleanor Gardner. I've never pulled this one before either. Three and a green for a 2/4. When this thing enters, create a food token. The beginning of your end step, if you sacrifice a food this turn, you can search your library for a basic land, put that card on the map. Whoa! This is a really good pack, guys! We've pulled two legendaries I've never pulled before, two legendaries that are sick, a Reprieve, a Revive the Shire, and a Brandywine Farmer. You know what, you tree folk, you're kind of with the Took. But still, the rest of this pack has been. Okay, continuing. Moria. Sorry, Moria Marauder. Hey, Grandma, Moria.
It is a 1/1 with double strike for 2 red, and whenever a goblin or orc you control deals combat damage to a player, exile the top card of your library. You can play that card this turn. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Good goblin card for sure. Definitely excited to put that into one of my decks. Lost to Legend is our Hollow, which is an okay one. I do like the fact that it goes fourth from the top, so they can't play it right away, but they also can't if it goes it's I still prefer putting it on the bottom, but fourth from the top is kind of annoying. And it also makes things funny. So I kind of enjoy that. And as we saw earlier, because I spoiled it, we have a Primal Cocoon. Now, what does this do? Enchant creature at the beginning of your upkeep, put a +1/+1 counter on enchanted creature. When enchanted creature attacks or blocks, sacrifice this thing. Okay, so as long as you never attack or block with the creature, you can keep +1/+1ing whatever the heck you've put this on, and then oh, hey Snoop, this on Scoot Swarm. Never attack with the original. This on Scoot Swarm. Can you imagine how big all those Scoot Swarm copies are going to be? That's insane. I don't know if that actually works the way I think it does, but if it does, insane. I'm really digging these packs. That was a good pack today of Lord of the Rings. I definitely think, I mean, I don't know. I think the Strider card's probably the best one out of that pack, but all four of those legendaries are just bangers for sure. Kai was over there taking a nap in his bed. By the way, spoilers, some of those toys are coming out in a video later today or tomorrow, depending on when I get done this and how much energy I have left afterwards. Ah, hum hum hum. Getting down to the wire here. I have a few more content creators I want to shout out. One new one, a couple friends, and some ones that Kaiba asked me to shout out as well. So, let's do the ones that Kaiba asked me to shout out next. I'm going to put them all in the chat at once because they're all lined up for me beautifully. If it lets me. Hopefully the chat lets me. Hopefully the chat is not annoying. Do do do. Hopefully we are still connected. Oh, no, that doesn't work at all. Okay. Go back. That does not. Somehow that formatted terribly when I brought it over. All right, we'll do 3 different shoutouts all at once here. These are all different puppy channels. Different dogs that we follow, Kaiba and I, that we love. The first one is actually a personal favorite of ours. We've been following him for a couple years now. His name is Jacob the Pug. He is from Canada, which is awesome. And he actually lives out in BC. And he and his dad put a lot of really funny shorts out first off. If you can like handle some darker humor, some of the stuff that he puts out there is really funny. Um, and then the other thing that I love about his channel is just they do a lot of like really cute vlog things like I do with Kaiba where they go for walks and stuff like that. It's really really nice and I adore their stuff as a result of that. The second one there is Darren and Little Miss. We recently did a short shouting them out. They have a channel on YouTube. Darren is a really gentle and kind guy who is taking care of his disabled dog, his puppy. If I remember correctly, she's 14 years old. She might be older than that. I might be mixing her up. Actually, I think she is 18, if I remember correctly. Anyways, she had a stroke, and so he has to take care of her like uh constantly as a result of that. And like he's been really, really gentle with her and does like all these amazingly beautiful little videos with her. And I can't deny how awesome I think her stuff is, or his stuff is. And it's just so pure and beautiful, and he really cares about his dog, and it actually makes me um want to try harder with Kaiba. Sometimes I wonder if I'm not putting in enough effort with Kaiba because of how amazing he is with his dog. So um yeah, I just wanted to give Darren a shout out for that reason, and also because people haven't been the best with respect to like being polite and things sometimes on his channel in respect to like comments and stuff too. And so I know that he's had some challenges with that, and so being able to just like say a few kind words and give him a shout out today, I hoping might brighten his day, and it means a lot to us, all the content that he puts out. And finally, we put out a short this week shouting out Lily, the senior pug. She lives out in Ontario with us. Not exactly sure where, but I'm pretty sure Northern Ontario. She is awesome. A very sassy old lady. She loves her blueberries. She is very hit or miss on her green beans. Um, and her mom and her have a really nice channel as well, doing lots of funny little shorts as well as some really nice heartwarming ones. So those three channels are really awesome ones to check out if you like doggy content. For example, like the puggy content that I put out with Kaiba. By all means, if you go check out their content, you will definitely enjoy their stuff as well. And for them, we're going to open a Bloomborough pack because Bloomborough has all kinds of cute animals in it, and hopefully we will pull something really cute and adorable to show off to all the puppies. Although this set has no dogs, as far as I know, except for maybe I think the one red elemental card is like a wolf or something, and it's actually supposed to be like really dangerous. But the rest of the set is actually really cute. Is there a pack trick to this one? There might be. Yeah, there probably is. Okay, so we're gonna go. Um, the hell with it. We'll just go from the back to the front. Uncharted Haven. Enters tapped as it does. You choose a color, and you get to choose one mana of any color of that color. I like that card actually. Very good fixed land. Much better than the annoying ones that tap for one color plus you pick an additional color because then you have to try and keep track of all the different additional colors. Light Shell Duo, 3 and a blue for a 3/4 prowess, and when it enters Surveil 2, Dees. My knee is starting to get sore from sitting cross-legged. Banishing Light, 2 and a white, when it enters, we do the exact same thing as we did with Banishing Light in the other set. Banishing Light is such a lame enchantment. I really don't like that one. Daggerfang Duo, 2 and a black, Death Touch, and when it enters, you can mill 2 cards. Dees. Squirrel and Rat. Combo. Rodent, I do like. Okay, I gotta stretch out this leg. Hopefully, I can do it without disrupting the laptop or the microphone. Next up, Sunshower Druid. 1 green for a 0/2. When it enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, and you gain 1 life. Ah, do like me some Sunshower Druid. He is always a fun pull. Seapod Squire. 3, a white and a blue. Flying when it when it attacks. Target creature without flying gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Whisker Squill Scribe, 1 and a red for a 2/2. When it becomes target of a spell or ability you control for the first time, you can discard a card if you do draw a card.
Good for getting through your deck. Patchwork Banner, 3 for a artifact. Enters, choose a creature type. Creatures of the chosen type get +1/+1, and this taps to add 1 mana of any color. A very versatile artifact. Probably one of the better pulls in this set. So, pretty happy about that. Playing Cash Gecko. Enters. When it enters, if an opponent lost life, you get to add black and red. Pay 1 and a red, discard a card, draw a card. It's a 2/2. That's alright. That's pretty decent. Persistent Marsh Stalker. Rat Berserker. 1 and a black for a 3/1. Gets +1/+0 for each other rat you control, and whenever you attack with 1 or more rats, if 7 or more cards are in your graveyard, you can pay 2 and a black. If you do, return this thing from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped and attacking. Okay, well, at least because, I mean, the fact that it's a 3/1 kind of sucks because it's going to die, obviously, the first time it's blocked. But if you can keep bringing it back from your graveyard repeatedly, that's not so bad. Still think Patchwork Banner is the best one so far, though. Seed Glaive Mentor. Vigilance Haste 3/2, 1 red, white. And whenever this thing becomes a target of a spell or ability for the first time, put a +1/+1 counter on it. So that's pretty decent. That's actually a pretty good one. Salvation Swan, 3 and a white for a 3/3 flash flying. When this thing or another bird you control enters, exile up to 1 target creature you control without flying. Return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with flying counter on it at the beginning of the next end step. Damn! I know what deck I want to put that one in. I'm going to have to figure out what the heck I'm going to take out of it. But that recent token deck that I just showed you guys with the Bloomburrow Commander, this would be insane in that deck. All the different bird tokens that come in, I can just keep bringing things back in and out with flying counters. That's a definite hit. We got a full art planes. Beautiful artwork on that one. That one's hollow. So bonus. We got a full art Builder's Talent. 1 and a white. When it enters 0/4 white wall, comes into play. Whenever 1 or more non-creature, non-land permanents you control enter, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. And whenever this thing becomes level 3, return target non-creature, non-land permanent card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Huh. Not the best class card, to be honest. Only part 2 gets to like trigger more than one time, essentially. And we got a rabbit token. The Swan is definitely the hit, plus the Patchwork Banner. But that was probably the weakest pack we've pulled so far, I think. Oops! Knocked over the mic. Mic is still going, though? Good, mic is still going. Alright. Still hanging in with me, Snoop? Hopefully you didn't fall asleep on me from all the boredom. Think we're gonna do the last 2 or 3 shoutouts here. Open 1, 2 more packs. And then I think what I will do is I will actually let if you're still here, Snoop, I'm gonna let you pick the last pack of the day after that. So I want to do these 2 together in particular. Still there, working at the same time. Oh, okay. No worries. Make sure you don't get yourself in trouble from your boss. These are 2 channels that I've shouted out many times on my channel before. They are 2 of my dearest friends in terms of streaming. I think that these are 2 of... Oh, crud. Undo, undo. I think these are 2 of my all-time favorite guys on the YouTube platform, first off. And second off, I just really enjoy hanging out with these guys. So a big shout out to Sean, Strizak, and Mr. Tibbz. Both you guys are amazing content creators.
both you guys really mean the world to me. The amount of participation you do on my channel, the comments, the hanging out with me on Discord and chatting when I'm struggling with some of my mental health issues and stuff. Like, you guys are amazing. And the only reason I'm honestly putting you guys together in one shout out is because I'm starting to get really tired. I've been up since 1:30 this morning. So, and we're looking at just shy of 3 o'clock in the afternoon now. So I apologize. Normally I would have split you guys up. But I really want you guys to know that you both mean the world to me. And I honestly think that sometimes I would have probably given up on doing this if it weren't for the two of you. I know that I've had a lot of times where um, I've kind of doubted myself, or I've just, like I say, I've been struggling with some of my mental health stuff, and you guys have talked me into feeling a lot better, or I've joined your streams and it's just kind of brightened up my day. So it really means the world to me. So I know, Sean, you've been struggling with your sleep a lot lately, and I hope that that gets better for you. And Tibbz, I hope that you have a really good holiday with your wife. Um, and I'm sure neither of you guys are going to see this right now because Sean should be in bed and Tibbz is either traveling or also in bed. But I wanted to open something fun for you guys. So um I got a pack of Duskmorn for you guys to check out. Um and you know what? If I have the energy, maybe I will open one more pack with you guys too at the end here. Or one more pack for you guys at the end here. Maybe we'll throw in a yeah, you know what? Let's throw in an Infinity pack too. Why not? And then I have one more shout out to do, and then one big thank you I want to do, and then Snoop, I'm gonna let you pick a pack or two. We'll see how we go. Let's do the Dustmorn first, though. Dustmorn. Ooh. I can't remember if Dustmorn had a pack trick or not, so spoilers potentially. I'm going to try and sneak a peek. Nope, I think we're okay. Well, maybe. That's a hollow. That's a land. Yeah, we probably have to do a pack trick. Okay. Damn pack tricks. We'll just do it from the bottom to the top again like we did last time. We got a really neat artwork card. I'm not sure which way. I think that's the right way. It is for a Withering Torment. Nice. Very cool art. Dustmorn is such a good set. If you pull a walk-in closet, I'm throwing a fit. I think I actually have one of those already, but I might be wrong. I can't remember for sure what that does. Is that a room? If it's a room, I might have it. I'm scared. One white. Until end of turn, target creature gets +2/+2 and gains flying, and becomes a horror enchantment creature in addition to its other types. Flavor text? Boo. Good flavor text. Turn inside out. One red. Target creature gets +3/+0 until end of turn. When it dies this turn, manifest dread. Oh, by the way, we're opening horror because Sean and Tibbz both play horror stuff. Room that you can play lands from the graveyard. Uh, Probably not then, because that's probably green, isn't it? The one I was thinking of was blue. You know what? Instead of pulling an Infinity, I think we'll just pull two Dustmorn. How about that? Snoop, you seem to really like the Dustmorn. I haven't been able to pull a lot of Dustmorn. The only time I pulled Dustmorn really was for the last set of new set versus old set when we did it. So with the Dustmorn. So I'm kind of interested to see what we pull this time. We got ourselves a murder. A murder is always a good card to pull, for sure. I'm not a fan of the artwork on this one, though, to be honest. Acrobatic Cheerleader. One and a white for 2/2 survival at the beginning of your second main. If this thing is tapped, put a flying counter on it. But it only happens once. Obviously, because why would you want a dozen flying counters on this thing? Meat Locker Drowned Diner. That one I've pulled like a dozen times. I really don't need this card.
When you unlock it, you get to tap one target creature and put two sun counters on it for the left. And for the right, you get to draw three cards and then discard a card. It's not horrendous, but I've just pulled it, like I say, at least I have at least 6 copies of it off the top of my head, I think for sure. I think it's the room I've pulled the most, to be perfectly honest. So yeah, you're going that side. Cautious Survivor. 3 and a green for 4/4. At the beginning of your second main, if this thing is tapped, you gain 2 life. That I like. And it's an elf, so it can actually go into one of my elf decks, which is pretty good. I like that one. Don't make a sound. 1 and a blue. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 2. If they do, you get to surveil 2, though. That's a decent counter spell. Decent. Not amazing, but decent. Commune with Evil. 2 and a black. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. Then you gain 3 life. Yeah, okay. In the right circumstance, in the right deck, that could work pretty good for you. Midnight Mayhem. 2 red and white. Create 3 1/1 red gremlin creature tokens. Gremlins you control gain menace, lifelink, and haste until end of turn. Neat. I do love me gremlins. That was a funny movie. I wasn't a huge fan of the second one, but the first one was hilarious. So I do like that card. Diversion Specialist. 3 and a red for a 4/3 with menace. Pay 1, sacrifice another creature or an enchantment. Exile the top card of your library and you can play it this turn. That might work out well when I eventually build the rooms deck I want to build. Overgrown Zealot. 1 and a green. Tap to add 1 mana of any color. Tap to add 2 mana of any one color, but spend it only to turn permanents face up. Still a really good card. That's actually a huge pull too, probably, eh? I bet that one's actually seeing some use in different decks. Alistrad Worm. 3 and 2 green for a 5/5. It can't be countered. It has trample and haste. Pay 2 and 2 green. Return this thing from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it, but you can only do it if there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard and only at sorcery speed. It's not terrible. I know, Zimone. Okay, it's in the Zimone Crew. I was going to say, I thought I've seen that card before. But I mean, you could put that into like a lot of different decks, though, right? Like you could put that into like a cloaking deck from Murders at Karlov Manor if you wanted to build one of those. This would go really well in that. Uh, what else can I think of off the top of my head? Like, there's a whole bunch of different things. You know that, of course. I don't have to tell you. But I'm just saying that seems pretty versatile. Ooh, the full art planes is cute. I don't think have we actually done this set? Maybe we haven't done this set yet. This might be the next old set we have to do, to be honest. Because technically it's gone past the date of this set, so maybe this will be the next old set we do after the Dominaria. Won't technically be super old, but it'll still count. Love me that planes though. And our final pull of this pack is a friendly teddy. 2 for a 2/2. When this thing dies, each player draws a card. Aww, it's cute. I like it, it's cute. That was an okay pack. Not amazing, but okay. The Zealot is probably definitely the best card, though, in that pack by far. And then Cautious Survivor was actually pretty decent too, I would say. Those two together actually work really well. Alright. Last channel I want to shout out today is another new one. I'll shout it out now, and then we'll open that second Dustmorn pack, actually, because it also does horror stuff as well. He does do other things too, but
His big thing is definitely horror stuff, but his latest video actually was a comedy run, and it was hilarious. Can't remember which Resident Evil game he was doing. I think it was 2, but he was doing it through like some sort of weird emulator where it like switched all the different characters and the um different zombies and things to like completely random stuff. So it's hilarious. And that would be my buddy Notorious Base. Um, I'm definitely enjoying his content a lot. He is a good buddy with Tibbz, and I think he would love Sean's stuff if he ever actually checked it out too. But yeah, like definitely another great channel to check out. And again, another big guy on horror, so we'll do one more Dustmorn for him and for the other two again. And then I'm going to let you pick a pack, Snoop. At least one. Maybe we'll pick two, depending on how we all feel. But I want to end on a special note. So let's open this first, and then we'll get to that. That over there. So Dustmorn is supposed to have a pack trick, I thought. No? Why does this pack not have a pack trick and the last pack did? That's weird. Weird. Okay, whatever. We're going. Hardened Escort. Is there an art card on the back? Oh, it's a token. Okay, we'll get there. 2/4. Whenever this thing attacks, another target creature you control gets +1/+0 and gains indestructible until end of turn. That's pretty decent. That is pretty decent. Vicious Clown. 2 in a red for a 2/3. Whenever another creature you control with power 2 or less enters, this thing gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Final Vengeance. As an additional cost to cast this, sacrifice a creature or an enchantment and exile target creature. For 1 black, that's actually pretty good. Be better if it was instant, but still. Even at sorcery speed, that's pretty good. Slavering Branch Snapper. 4 and 2 green for a 7/6 with trample and forest cycling 2. The forest cycling on that's actually really good. And then it's just a big beefy boy that can smack. So I like it. I like it a lot. Underwater Tunnel Slimy Aquarium. Unlock this side, you get to Surveil 2. Unlock this side, you get to Manifest Dread, then put a +1/+1 counter on that creature. Meh. Frantic Strength. 2 and a green, flash, enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and has trample. I'll take that. That is a solid enchantment. Definitely a solid enchantment. Especially because it has flash, you can actually put that in after somebody blocks. That's crazy. Glimmerburst. 3 and a blue, draw 2 cards, create a 1/1 white Glimmer enchantment creature token. It's a little expensive, but you're getting a decent amount out of it at instant speed, so sure. Infernal Phantom. 3 and a red for a 2/3. Whenever an enchantment you control enters, or whenever you fully unlock a room, Infernal Phantom gets +2/+0 until end of turn. When this thing dies, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. Interesting. That could be an interesting add-in to my rooms deck when I build it. Shard Mage's Rescue. 1 white flash enchant creature you control. As long as this thing entered this turn, the creature gets hexproof. And as long as it's enchanted, it has +1/+1. Decent. Decent. I think the blue one was a little bit better, but I mean, I'm still going to take it. Or the green one, sorry, was a little bit better, but I'm still going to take the white one for sure. I think those are the best hits so far in the pack, though. I think. Yeah, I'm going to go with those two. Dustmorn's Domination. 4 and 2 blue, enchant creature you control, enchant creature. You control the enchanted creature. The enchanted creature gets -3/-0 though and loses all abilities. So, I mean, in the end, you're getting a dud, essentially. I'm not really sure why I want that. Other than to make sure that somebody can't use something against me, maybe, but I mean, still. Not my favorite enchantment. Oh, this set. I want to play a game. 3 and a black for let's play a game. Choose one. If there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, though, you can choose one or more instead. Creatures your opponents control get -1/-1 until end turn. Each opponent discards 2 cards. Each opponent loses 3 life, and you gain 3 life. If you can get the 4 or more card types in your graveyard, you can really do some damage with this card for 3 and a black. I like that one. Gloom Lake Verge. Tap to add blue, tap to add black, but you can only do it if you control an island or a swamp already. Still a good land. Doesn't actually come in tapped, which is insanely good. I like that a lot. I don't think I've. The more I'm opening these, I don't think we open very much Dustmourne, to be honest. I think we're going to have to go back and do Dustmourne for sure at some point on this channel. Abandoned Campground. Enters tapped unless the player has 13 or less life. See, now I remember pulling a whole bunch of these. I definitely remember pulling a whole bunch of these. This, I don't think I've pulled very many of those. But this, we've definitely pulled a bunch of those. Fear of being hunted. 1 and 2 red, haste. It must be blocked if able, and is a 4/2. If you can give that thing death touch or something, that can be a pretty solid, like, creature to swing with. And I do like the artwork on it too. And a shard token. Sacrifices enchantment, scry 1, then draw a card. Huh. I did not know there was token enchantments. Neat. Gloom Lake Verge is $15? What? Alright, alright. Before you yell at me, I'm putting in a sleeve. I'm putting in a sleeve. You know what? I'm gonna sleeve the bird and I'm gonna sleeve the zealot too before you go aw me here. I think that bird is insane, and I think this is actually pretty good too. Alright. Now, I have shouted out all the channels I wanted to shout out today. I really, really grateful for all those content creators and all the support they've given me. But of course, what I'm most grateful for is my audience. And all you guys who tune in regularly, watch my content, participate in these live streams like Snoop does, um, it really means the world to me. Um, when I started this channel, a big part of why I started it was to try and help make some extra money to support my marriage, which ultimately did not work out very well, obviously. And this channel helped get me through a really dark time in my life because losing my partner, um, well, splitting up with my partner, I didn't lose her. Splitting up with my partner, um, has been the most difficult thing I think I've ever actually had to do in my life. Trying to pick up the pieces and figure out how to build a new life, trying to create space for Kaiba and I, trying to better our lives and such. I don't know if I could have done it, to be honest, without you guys. I really don't know if I could have made it through all this. I definitely know that there have been times where I've been really close to just saying the hell with it, and then I go and I rip a few packs, make a video, put it out there, and a couple people shout out some comments on it, and I just feel like somebody actually cares, which means a lot because although in one way I know my family really does care, in another way, my mom and I haven't spoken since May this year at all. Neither of us have any desire to do it, it seems. My brother got back together with his girlfriend in September and hasn't spoken to me really since. My dad and I, as you well know, don't have the best relationship. So, like,
I don't really have the sort of like blood family strong bond that a lot of people have with their families, in the way that like I can go and talk to somebody and feel like they won't judge me, they'll just support me, give me a hug, that kind of thing. But I have you guys. You guys give me that. And you guys give me a lot of support and love. And so before we have Snoop pick a pack or two out of the pile that I have left sitting over here beside me, I just want to do a quick shout out to all the people who have been commenting regularly on my channel since the beginning. I'm not going to shout out everybody who's only given like one comment here or one comment there. And if you have a channel that I've already shouted out today, I'm not going to include you in this list either. But know that I do appreciate all your comments as well. But I wanted to do this special shout out for people who aren't making content for others, just to tell you that there's some really awesome people out there too, besides us content creators. So we've got, of course, Snoop in the live stream, who is amazing. We have Summer, who joined recently and has been commenting on almost all of Kaiba's videos. She's from Darren and Little Miss's channel, and she's amazing. We've got Miguel from and Ranger. Both came over from TRO's channel, and they constantly make comments on a lot of Kaiba stuff and my card content as well. Vinny is a really dear friend of mine from way back, around the time when I first met my wife, even. Like, we're talking like 6 or 7 years ago, I've been friends with Vinny. And it always means the world to me when she comments on my content, and we have chats in Discord and stuff like that. Of course, I want to shout out Alan C, because Alan C is like the man who connects everybody. He's already been in the live stream earlier, talking at the beginning of the live stream, and I really, really, truly appreciate all that he's done to help me learn to network, learn to connect with other streamers, join in other discords, and it's really helped build my audience. Basically, since the start of the year, we've shot up over 100 subscribers, and that is phenomenal. And a lot of that is because of how much help Alan C has given me. So I really appreciate you, Alan. And finally, last person I want to shout out. Um, although the comments are very infrequent from this person, his knowledge is beyond everything anybody else that I've had speak on my channel, and that's Jonny XZerT. Jonny XZerT likes to come in whenever I like pose a question about how some of the cards work or things like that, and he always has like a really good way of breaking it down and making it understandable for me, and I hope understandable for my audience as well. So all you guys mean the world to me, and I am so grateful for you guys tuning in on a regular basis, watching the channel, leaving your comments, leaving your likes. Um, your support means the world. I want you to know that. So on this fake Thanksgiving, since it's a few days before, but on this Thanksgiving, I am thankful most of all for people who connect, comment, like, subscribe. You guys really help me keep going and believing in people, believing in myself, etc., etc. So thank you. Okay, before I start crying, let's pick some packs. Um, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 more packs that you can pick from here, Snoop. We have Tarkir. We have Kaldheim. We have a Core 2021. Throne of Eldraine. Aether Drift. I do have one extra Dominaria. A Guilds of Ravnica. Zendikar Rising.
And then we have opened a bunch of these, but we do have an extra Brothers War and Edge of Eternities as well. And I do have one extra on Infinity as well. So you can pick any of those packs. If we get something really cool, we might just stop. But if we don't, maybe we'll go for 2 packs just to see if we can end on a high note. So pick your poison, Snoop. Trying to include them all into the camera shot is proving more challenging than I thought it would be. You can't see the ones on my lap. Okay, good. Guild of Ravnica and Edge of Eternities. Okay, sure. We will end on those 2. And then those other packs can be saved for later down the line. I am hoping to do at some point over the Christmas holidays a Christmas stream / New Year's stream. So we'll probably be opening a bunch of those packs at that point, and I'll buy a few more. But we will do them in the order you have them listed, and we'll see what we get. Like I say, if we hit something huge on Guilds of Ravnica, I'm probably going to stop there because I want to end on a high note. I apologize in advance for that. But if we don't hit something amazing, we will go for the Horizon Explorer and see what we get. Maybe we'll get really lucky. Having some water, baby? Almost done. 2 more packs, and then I promise we can go downstairs and go outside for a bit. I'm hoping there is not a pack trick to this. It is my last Guilds of Ravnica pack, so let's see what we pull. Sworn Companions, 2 and a white for 2, create 2 1/1 white soldier creature tokens with lifelink. Dece. Dece for sure. Sorcery speed, but still. Wall of Mist, 1 blue, Defender 0/5. I mean, I want more walls for my walls deck, so I'm definitely happy with that. Child of Night, 1 and a black for 2/1 with lifelink. Would I have preferred it was a 1/2? Yes. But I mean, it is a pretty neat vampire, and we do have a mono black deck to build, so you know what? More black cards? Why not? Sure. Urban Utopia. 1 and a green, enchant land, enters the battlefield, draw a card. Enchanted land has tap to add 1 mana of any color. Dece. Not amazing, but dece. I mean, the draw of the card is probably the best part of that, unless you're playing a multicolored deck. Mephitic Vapors. 2 and a black. All creatures get -1/-1 until end of turn, and then you surveil 2. It's kind of starting to go downhill for me here in this pack, but let's see. Maybe we can pick it up. Luminous Bonds. 2 and a white. Enchanted creature can attack or block. Yeah, I'm okay with that, sort of. I mean, I like the ones where it knocks out the ability to, but Vernati Shieldmate. 1 and either a green or a white for a 2/2 with vigilance. That's pretty good. That's quick to the front. Piston Fist Cyclops. Okay, the name on that's just hilarious. Piston Fist Cyclops. A 4/3 with Defender for 1 and a combination of 2 blue or red. As long as you cast an instant or sorcery spell this turn, this thing can attack as though it didn't have Defender. Pretty straightforward. Hitless Gorgon. 1 and a combination of 2 black or green for a 2/2 with Death Touch. Heck yes, we love me some Death Touch. So we got a cool one with Vigilance. Now we got a cool one with Death Touch. Hammer Dropper. 2, a red and a white. Giant Soldier, 5/2 with Mentor. Whenever this attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature with lesser power. I mean, I wish it had a better butt so it didn't die right away when you swing with it, but it's an okay card. Flower and Flourish. 1 green or white to search your library for a basic forest or plains, reveal it, put into your hand, and shuffle. Or 4 green and a white, and creatures you control get +2/+2 until end of turn. That second half sucks. That first half is decent, though. First half is pretty decent for sure. That second half sucks. Low Spore Shaman, on the other hand, that is a hit for sure for me. I love this card. When it enters the battlefield, put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard, then you can put a land from your graveyard on top of your library. Very simple card, but the amount of stuff that it does in one turn, if you were to put this with, say, oh, I don't know, Micro Tyrant, you're getting some pretty good stuff out of this, for sure. Definitely a fun card. I would, of course, prefer a 1/3 over a 3/1. I will always say that, but I'm still putting you front. Sprouting Renewal, 2 and a green, Convoke. So you can basically pay 1 green if you tap a couple creatures. And you can either make a 2/2 green and white Elf Knight creature token with Vigilance, or you can destroy an artifact or enchantment. Alright. Not bad, but great either, per se. Thousand Year Storm, on the other hand, that is a hit, ladies and gentlemen. That is definitely a hit. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you get to copy it for each other instant and sorcery spell you cast before it this turn. You may choose new targets for the copies. This is fire. I don't know how much this is actually worth in terms of cash, but this is insane for any sort of Spellslinger deck that runs red and blue. I don't know, Snoop. We might have to stop after this, depending on what that's worth. You want to check that for me and let me know? I got a Selesnya Guild Gate too. I do love the artwork on it, but I don't need any more Guild Gates, really, per se. I mean, they're versatile lands. They do enter the battlefield tap, though. But, of course, Guild Gates are especially important for a deck that focuses on collecting all of the Guild Gates and winning via that method, so... Now I got a Bird Illusion token. I do love me some Bird Illusions. Very beautiful. Do you know how much Thousand Year Storm was worth, Snoop? 50 cents. Oh, ouch. Well, in that case, that is not really a hit per se. It's a hit for me. I'm really happy with it, but we will go diving for your Explorer. Horizon Explorer. I'm assuming it's going to be white. I've not actually looked at the Horizon Explorer before, so I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what I'm hoping for, but I'm presuming Horizon is going to be white since the other one was green. But we will open this Edge of Eternity's pack to finish the stream, and then we will call it quits. We've been going for 2 hours and 20 minutes. Holy crap. No wonder Kaiba's over there like that. This is how Kaiba looks after 2 hours and 20 minutes of being stuck in the bedroom with me. It's like, Daddy, what the fudge? Happy birthday to you, Miku! Welcome to the stream! Aw, that's actually really cool. I like celebrating people's birthdays. You know what? After this Edge of Eternity's pack, I'm gonna go one more pack, and I'm gonna let Miku pick one. Because it's your birthday. We'll go back over the list that we have left over here. And you can pick out one pack, and I will open it on stream in honor of your birthday, and as a thank you for coming and tuning in today. So first we got Snoop's Edge of Eternity's pack, though. Let's see if we can find... Oh, it's a green one, too? Really? Interesting. Let's see if we find the Horizon. We do have a drone on the back for our token. Drone and robot. What does the drone do? Flying? This token can only block creatures with flying. Huh. It's weird. Don't know why I want that necessarily, but alright. Frontline War Rager. 2 and a red for a 2/3 at the beginning of your end step. If you control 2 or more tapped creatures, put a +1/+1 counter on this guy. Insatiable Skittermaw. 2 and a black for a 2/2 menace. At the beginning of your end step, if a non-land permanent or a spell was warped, put a +1/+1 counter on this guy. He could get pretty big in the right deck. Starbreach Whale, 4 and a blue, 3/5, flying. When this creature enters Surveil 2, and it has a warp 1. Dece. Do you love me the fact that it's 3/5? Starport Security, 1 white for a 1/1, 3 and a white, tap. Tap another creature. This ability costs 2 less to tap. Activate if you have a creature with a +1/+1 counter on it, though. Okay. Germinating Worm, 4 and a green for a 5/5. When this thing enters, you gain 2 life, and it has a warp 1 in a green. I mean, you have the potential to gain 4 life off of this. That's not terrible. I wish it had Trample. That would make it also sweeter, though. For 4 and a green, Trample would have been nice. Galactic Wayfarer. 2 and a green for a 3/3. When it enters, create a lander token. That might be the best one so far, to be honest. Other than... Actually, I like the Skittermaw. But I think the Skittermaw is probably the best one other than the Galactic Wayfarer so far in this pack. Chrome Companion is not going to be a good one, though. I think he's a very cute puppy, but I do like the fact that you gain 1 life, but unless you're using him to cruise spaceships, he's really not super great. You can put cards from your graveyard, of course, on the bottom of an owner's library, but again, it's like, eh. I'll put him to the front. He is versatile. I just don't like the fact that he has such a small butt. Full Bore. 1 red. Target creature control gets +3/+2 until end of turn. If it was cast for its warp cost, it also gets trample and haste until end of turn. Damn. That's an interesting instant. Very type specific, but interesting. McCann Navigator. 1 and a blue for 2/1. Whenever it becomes tap, draw a card, then discard card. Very good, very good. I do need more of those. It is an artifact creature, so it will help my blue deck immensely. Melt Strider's Resolve. 1 green, enchant creature you control. When this aura enters, enchanted creature fights up to 1 target creature an opponent controls. Enchanted creature gets +0/+2 and can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. Why do I want it to fight? That seems terrible. I do like that it gives it some extra butt so it might survive the fight, but still, why do I want it to necessarily fight that? Eh, eh. I've never been a huge fan of the fight spell thing. I always find that there's a better chance that you're going to screw yourself than actually help yourself with that. Station Monitor! A blue and a white for 2/2. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, create a 1/1 colorless drone artifact creature token with flying. Well, there you go. That's why we needed the drone artifact. It's a pretty decent card, actually. Oh, we skipped one. Biotech Specialist. Green red, 1/3. When it enters, create a lander token. Whenever you sacrifice an artifact, this thing deals 2 damage to target opponent. Sorry, Snoop. I didn't mean to do that. My bad. And our Mechcan Shieldmate is our last one. Defender, 3/2, 1 in blue. As long as an artifact entered the battlefield under your control this turn, it can attack as though it didn't have Defender. And we have an island. We did not hit the big one for you, Snoop. I am very sorry. Got a couple interesting things in there. I think best one, though, is the Mechcan Navigator. That in the deck that I'm going to put it in will actually let me draw 2 cards every time it's tapped and discard 2 cards. It's pretty cool. All right. Miku, if you would... I know. No Horizon Explorer. I'm sorry. But I mean, 1 out of 2 ain't bad. 1 out of 2 ain't bad, Snoop. Can't win them all. I could come up with a few more clever little storylines, but I'm going to save them. In the meantime, though, MatCave! What the heck? No YouTube notification. Aw, that sucks. Well, you made it in at the end at least. We did get the ice tilt earlier, yep.
No worries, Snoop. Have a good one. Thank you for coming into the stream, buddy. I really appreciate it. You've been amazing. It's going really good today, Matt. We've had some insanely good hits. I'm going to go over them in a few minutes. But Miku came in right near the end here, and I promised that I would give you a chance to pick a pack. So I'm going to show you all the packs that I have left. Pick when you see one you like, just type into the chat which one you like. Hopefully you are still here and can do so. So let me know, Miku, when you see one you like. We've got a Core 2021. We've got a Throne of Eldraine. We've got Kaldheim. We've got Tarkir Dragonstorm. Zendikar Rising. Dominaria. Aetherdrift. Brothers War. And Infinity. Those are the packs that I have left. If you're still here, Miku, by all means, give a shout out and let me know which pack interests you. I'm going to just kind of try and spread them out here so you can see them on the playmat. And going back to Matt here, just so you know, MatCave, I was doing a Thanksgiving stream shouting out all kinds of different channels. I actually shouted you out earlier and we opened a pack for you. And who was the other person that was in that pack? I can't remember. There was two people I shout out for at the same time and did a pack. You were one, and the other was Spidey. I put you and Spidey together today. And we opened a Spider-Man pack, and actually that was the biggest hit of the day so far. So I think Spidey Librarian, if he actually tunes in and sees this later, is going to be really stoked because the artwork on that card that I pulled that's a hit is really cool. Uh, were there any packs that interested you, Miku? I'll give it a couple more minutes, see if you respond. In the meantime, I'm going to go over the hits from today. So all these cards over here are all cards that I've opened, but they are just like they're good cards, but they're not the most amazing ones. The most amazing ones, Snoop had me sleeve, and we're going to go over them now. I just want to make sure the best ones are kept at the end. Because we don't want them to be spoiled early kind of thing. If that makes sense. Okay, I think that's good. Here we go. So, hits from today. We got, so far, an Overgrown Zealot, which is a crazy cool mana dork. Taps for one of any color, but if you have a face down card, you can actually tap it to add two of any one color to help flip that card over, which is pretty neat. We got a 1,000-Year Storm, which, although it is expensive, is an insanely good enchantment in a Spellslinger deck. That one with the dragon on it looks cool to me. Miku able to pick. I don't know anything about the packs, but I like dragons. I will end on a dragon storm if Miku doesn't show up. And pick one. I mean, Miku did show up. I apologize. That's poorly worded. If Miku isn't still here to pick a pack, I will end with the dragon storm for you, Matt. Because I am getting kind of tired, and Kaiba is getting fed up with being stuck in the bedroom. So the 1,000-Year Storm, if I play an instant or a sorcery, I get to copy it for each other instant and sorcery I played before it that turn. So you're going to get to copy a spell possibly like 4 or 5 times, depending on how many spells you played before it, which means you can do some seriously cool stuff with this on the field. I got a Salvation Swan, which I'm definitely throwing into a bird deck that I have. I don't think I had one of these yet, but any deck that plays a bunch of birds is going to love this because whenever a bird comes into play, or this specifically, I get to take a card that's on the field that doesn't have flying, put it out of play, put it back into play, and give it a counter that gives it flying. And so when it leaves and comes back, it also will trigger any ability that it had. So that's just an insane amount of extra abilities and stuff going off, which is really cool. I have a deck that makes a whole bunch of token birds, so I'm going to put it into that so that it triggers a whole bunch of different times. We got an insanely cool land called Gloom Lake Verge. Taps for blue, but also taps for black if you control an island or a swamp already. Um, Snoop pointed out to me that this is worth $15 apparently, so very valuable land. We got a really funny unset commander card that lets me put +1/+1 counters on creatures based on the fact that they have 4 or more legs, which I think will be a fun thing to build with eventually. We have a series of really cool Lord of the Rings commanders. We have Strider, who I pulled for the very first time ever. Ranger of the North, he has an insane landfall ability whenever a land enters the battlefield. Creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. And if that creature had power 4 or greater, after the +1/+1 gets added, it also gets first strike, which means it gets a hit before somebody else gets it. So that's pretty good in this game. I also pulled a Eleanor Gardner for the first time. She's a 2/4. When she enters, she makes food. And at the beginning of my end step, if I sacrifice food in a turn, I get to find a land and put it into the battlefield tap. So I'm just getting insane mana value off of sacrificing foods. Plus, she's a halfling, so when I make my I'm eventually going to make a Hobbits deck, and when I put her into that Hobbits deck, the amount of food that Hobbits make, she's just going to fire off in that deck. So it's going to be awesome. Legolas counter of kills has reach. He scries once per turn, or whenever you scry once per turn, you get to untap him. And he also gets a +1/+1 counter whenever something on your opponent's field dies. So as long as you can keep killing stuff, he's just going to keep getting plus and plus and plus, which is crazy fun. And finally, Eowyn, Lady of Rohan. I do have one copy of her, but pulling a second one was awesome. She is probably one of my favorite legendaries from the Lord of the Rings set because she reduces the cost for all your equip abilities by 1. And if a creature with an equipment on it, uh, at the beginning of combat once per turn, sorry, you can pick a creature. If you pick a creature that is equipped, you get to do 2 things, but if you pick one without, you only get to do 1. You give the creature either first strike or vigilance. So again, first strike lets you hit first, and then vigilance means you don't have to tap it when you attack. So you can give a creature the ability to attack without having to tap and hit first before it gets hit, so it doesn't have to necessarily die. Really, really cool card. Next, I have a Baron Bertram Greywater. I've only pulled this once or twice, and I really like this card because it goes so well with token decks. Whenever you put a token into play, this thing makes an extra token once per turn, and you can sacrifice another creature or an artifact to draw a card. Really, really valuable. And then we're getting into the major cards here. We got a Glacier Godmaw. I really like this one. It has trample. It makes a lander when it comes into play. It's 6/6. And whenever a land comes into play, you get +1/+1 and vigilance and haste for everything on your board. Your entire board gets to swing on its first turn coming into play, and it doesn't have to tap just by putting into play a land. Phenomenal card. I love this guy. And he goes insanely well with Snoop's pull of the day. Snoop is losing his mind over this. Ice Till Explorer. 2 green for 2/4. It lets you play an extra land each turn. It lets you play lands from your graveyard. And whenever you play a land, you have to take a card from the top of your deck and put it into your graveyard. So essentially, if you play a land and you take a card off the top and it's a land and it goes into your graveyard, you can play that land. And then you get to take another card off the top. And you see the whole thing, it's insane. Insane value. This guy's going for about, I think Snoop said it was somewhere in the neighborhood of $15 to $20 for this one. And then finally, the hit of the day so far, my absolute favorite poll of the day for sure, is Gwen Stacy from the Spider-Man set. I opened my very first pack of Spider-Man today in honor of you and Spidey Librarian MatCave, and I didn't realize it when I pulled this, but apparently this is worth $35 to $40 Canadian. So like $20 for you guys, 25 maybe. But I mean, still an insanely cool card. This thing has a bunch of different abilities. Is the artwork from different artists, or are there a bunch of empty? There are a whole bunch of different artists for the different cards. Each card has the artist written at the bottom of it, actually, which is really neat. For example, I'll show you right here. If it doesn't get too blurry. Uh, let's see if I can do it with this one better. Yeah, there we go. That one's going much better. So Ingranata? Roberta Ingranata made this card. Yeah. Whoa, Gwen Stacy. She's playing the drums, she's having the time of her life, and she has an insane ability. So when she enters, I get to take the top card of my library and I can play that card from exile this turn as long as I control her. Or no, I can play that card for as long as I control her. But I can also pay two, a blue, a red, and a white, and she transforms into, ready for this? Ghost Spider! Look at the artwork on that! I love the artwork on this! This is definitely my favorite card of the day. She has flying, vigilance, and haste. So flying lets her get around almost all the creatures on the board unless they have flying and reach. They can't block her. She doesn't have to tap to attack, and she can attack right away. Whenever I play a land from exile or cast a spell from exile, I put a +1/+1 counter on her. And I can remove two +1/+1 or two counters from her, exile the top card of my library, and can play that card this turn. She is fire! Fire! I dropped all the sleeved cards except for the really, really valuable one by accident. So I'm just going to quickly make sure I get those. Because although he's left, I know that Snoop would be disappointed if I let any damage happen to the Ice Tiller. It's okay. The Ice Tiller's still good, Snoop. Don't worry. But yeah, Gwen Stacy is definitely the pull of the day for me, for sure. So we will end the stream because I did not see Miku comment. So I'm sorry, Miku. I'm going to end with MatCave's Tarkir Dragonstorm pack because I am really tired and we've been going for almost 3 hours now. So hopefully this pack will give you something cool to look at, Matt, and hopefully it gives me something cool to throw in a deck. We have a monk token on the back with prowess, which is pretty cool. I do need more of these tokens, so I'm happy to have an extra one of this. Whenever you cast a spell that isn't a creature, you get to give this thing +1/+1 until end of turn. So they can get pretty beefy. And it's a bird on the other side. Nice. Good token. Good start. I think this one is a pack trick, so give me a second. I'm just going to sneak a peek. No, it does not. Okay, we're good. Sultai Devotee. 1 and a green for a 2/1 with Death Touch that you can pay 1 to add green, black, or blue. I like and don't like these cards. I think they're really cool because you can filter your mana. The downside is because it has green, black, and blue on it, I can only play it in a deck that has all three of those colors minimum. So if I wanted to put this in a mono green deck, I can't do it, unfortunately. That is the downside. But I do like this card. Ice Ridge Serpent, 4 and a blue for a 3/3. When it enters, return target target creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. Sorry. That's okay. It's got some decent value. A little expensive. Salt Road Pack Beast, 5 and a white for a 4/3. Costs 1 less to cast for each creature you control, though, so it could be just 1 white. When it enters, draw a card. I mean, that's not bad. You had me at zombie. Yes, I do love me some zombies. This is true. Actually, earlier I opened a couple of packs called Dustmorn. They have a whole bunch of horror stuff in them. It's pretty neat, too. He is a 6 serpent. He is going to keep sitting on top for now until I pull something really cool. So, Wild Ride, 1 and a red, or sorry, 1 red. Target creature gets +3/+0 and gains haste until end of turn. And you can pay 4 and a red to play it from your graveyard. Camera is falling down. There we go. 1 second. I just want to adjust that a little bit to make sure that it doesn't actually fall down before the end of the stream. Earlier this week, my screen broke on my camera. Cost me $115 to fix it.
So wasn't super happy about that. Kintree Nurturer. 2 and a black for a 2/1 with lifelink, and when it enters, it endures 1. It either gets a +1/+1 counter, or you get to make a spirit creature token. That's okay. Sultai Devotee is still probably the best one, but that's pretty good. Sarkhan's Resolve. 1 and a green, target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn, or you can destroy a creature with flying. Yeah, not bad, not bad. It was rough, but at least what was lucky for me is last week I worked so many hours that I actually had an extra like $200 on my paycheck. So while I was hoping to put that $200 into savings, at least I had the money to fix my phone right away, rather than because I don't actually own an alarm clock anymore. My alarm clock broke a few years ago, so the only thing I have is my phone. So my first thought was how I was going to get up for work if I couldn't get it fixed. Wingspan Stride. Enchant creature, enchanted creature is +1/+1 has flying. You can pay 2 and a blue to return the aura to its hand, to the owner's hand. That's a good card, actually. I like that one a lot. That one just beat out the snake. Sorry, Matt, but that is better than the snake for sure. The fact that you can put this back in your hand if the creature is about to be attacked dies is pretty good. Descendant of Storms. 1 white for a 2/1. Whenever this thing attacks, you may pay 1 and a white. If you do it, it endures 1. That's pretty neat. I wish it was a 1/2 because it would have a better chance of surviving, but that is pretty neat. Snake is better than it, but I think that's like the third best hit of this pack so far. You got yourself a dragon, Matt! Yay! Tiru Goalkeeper. I have pulled this one before, but it is a pretty good one. 1 green, black, and blue for 3/3 with flying. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard during your turn, you get to make a treasure. Treasure is a token like this, but you tap it, sacrifice it, and then you get 1 mana of any color. And mana is what you need to pay for all these costs. So basically, whenever you have a whole bunch of extra treasure tokens, you have a whole bunch of extra free mana to use to help you out, which is nice. I thought that was Wonder Woman at first glance. Oh my god. She would be so offended by that. This thing also has Renew. You can pay 2 black, green, and blue, exile it from your graveyard, and then you can put 2 +1/+1 counters and a flying counter on a creature. So this thing is actually really cool. It is actually probably one of my favorite dragons of the multicolored ones in this set. So, solid pull. Channeled Dragonfire. Deals 2 damage to any target, has harmonized 5 and 2 red. It's okay. Oh, heck yeah. Sitting there like Smog. Yeah, I know. He's looking like a badass. Garden is gold. He is cool. Do we have a better dragon though? Is the question. There are still at least 3 big hits in this set that I haven't pulled yet. So if we get one today, I'm going to lose my mind. Riling Dawnbreaker. I don't think I've pulled that one as this style of art before. So I'm actually pretty happy about that at least. 4 and a white for a 3/4. It has 1 and a white, create a 2/2 white soldier creature token. So omen spells are neat because if you pay the omen cost, you get to play this effect, and then you shuffle this card back into your deck so that you can play it again. If you want to play this again, you can play it again. Or you can pay this cost up here, and then you get to play this side of the card, which is the creature. And it is a 3/4 with flying and vigilance, so it doesn't tap to attack, and it flies, which is amazing. And at the beginning of combat on your turn, you can pick a different creature other than this one, and get it +1/+0 until end of turn. A really, really cool dragon, actually. And I love the full art on this one. So, 2 huge dragon hits in this pack so far. Pretty good, Matt. Pretty good. Can we get a third dragon? Ooh, Windcrag Siege is actually a good pull, though. Not a dragon, but I'll definitely take it. 1 red and white. as it enters, you pick either Mardu or Jeskai. If you pick Mardu, if a creature attacks causes a trigger ability, it causes that ability to trigger a second time. If you pick Jeskai, at the beginning of your upkeep every turn, you get to make a red 1/1 goblin creature token. That creature gets lifelink and haste until end of turn. Pretty good enchantment. That one with the horn looks like a monster out of OG Godzilla movies. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, yeah, I definitely could see that. White Siege is a huge enchantment for sure. I'm definitely happy to have a second copy of it. And we should have a hollow and then our land. So our hollow is. Oh, I was hoping for a third dragon for you, but we got a Sagu Pummeler instead. He is a 3 and a green 4/4 with reach, and you can pay 4 and a green to exile him from your graveyard to put 2+1/+1 counters and a reach counter onto a creature. I'm still pretty happy with him. He's a good hit, but he's not a dragon, unfortunately. So I'm pretty sure we're capping this pack off with just 2 dragons. And our land is 8 plains. Just a simple, regular plains. Okay. Well, we definitely did get a couple of dragons at least to end the stream, and I am really happy with the artwork on this one, actually. I've never pulled that artwork yet, so that is definitely cool. And the Windcrag Siege, Windspan Stride, both amazing cards. Always happy to see the zombie too. Why not? Huh. I think that is going to do it for us today, though, guys. Sagu is pretty sick looking. He is, yeah, he is definitely an awesome looking beast. I just wanted to say one more time, big thank you to everybody. I'm going to give a big special thank you to Miku, MatCave Gaming, um, Alan C, and of course Snoop for all tuning in today and commenting in the stream. Thank you guys for participating. Again, Thanksgiving means a lot to me and Kaiba. And last year, we were just really, really having a hard time with the fact that my partner and I had split up that year, and we just didn't feel like celebrating, and it was kind of a really shitty holiday, to be honest. So I wanted to do something special this year, and I wanted to show how grateful I am to all the content creators who are supporting me, and all Cosmos, you literally got here as I'm doing my outro. But hello, I'm on a TV. Oh crap, that's scary. I must be like massive. But yeah, so just so you know, well, I'm thrown off now, so I'm just gonna go back into talking. Just so you know, Cosmos, I did a huge shout out for a whole bunch of different channels, including you. You were included in one of my shoutouts today. We opened a bunch of packs, and uh, your pack that I opened was a space pack, and you were the one who actually had the pack that came out with the 2 cards that made Snoop lose his mind. I'm glad you made it too, because like I say, I opened a cool space pack. I'll show you the artwork for space packs. Space packs in Magic are called Edge of Eternities. They have like spaceships and they have all kinds of neat stuff. And the pa- the pack that I opened in your honor, it came with these 2 cards, which are insane as a combo together. So, real quick, this card over here on the right, whenever a land comes into play, it gives my entire board +1/+1, and it also lets all my creatures have vigilance and haste until end of turn. It's called the Glacier Godma. It's a little expensive to put into play, but it's really cool. But the one that made Snoop lose his mind is the Ice Till Explorer. This card costs about $16 right now, 16 to 20. And this card lets you play an extra land each turn, lets you play lands from your graveyard, and lets you mill a card whenever you play a land. So essentially, You play a land, you mill a card. Presuming it's a land, you have another land that you can play that turn, and both those lands are going to trigger this guy. So he's going to give your entire board +2/+2 and make it so that they can attack without having to tap. And they all can attack on the turn they come in. So if you're playing like a token strategy, that's just gonna freaking go crazy. So yeah, really good hits. Really good stream. We had a lot of fun. Um Kaiba is completely wiped out though, and a little annoyed with me. He's over there. It's not that it's unstoppable. If you remove either of those things from the board, that would be um a problem unless you have a way to get them back from the graveyard. But those two cards collectively just trigger like a whole bunch of stuff, and then like you can build around that strategy and make it so much better too. The card that I actually loved the most though today, I'll show one more time on the stream before we get going. MatCave was really stoked about the artwork on this one, and I think you'll really like this too. Do you like Spider-Man by any chance, Reader of Cosmos? If you do, check this out. I pulled Gwen Stacy. This card is worth currently going for 35 to 40 Canadian, so that's probably like 25 American. She has really cool artwork on the front and a pretty neat ability when she comes into play. But what's really nice about her is she transforms. Any card that transforms has artwork on the back. Go Spider! I am in love with this artwork. I honestly didn't think like with all the negative stuff that's out there right now from different YouTubers and stuff about the Spider-Man set and the prices being bad and this and that and everybody's kind of down on it. I gotta say, this made me super excited to start the next round of new set versus old set where we'll be opening a whole bunch of Spider-Man stuff. I think this is going to be such a cool card to build around too. And like I say, very valuable. So it is the hit of the day for sure. And yeah, I don't think I have anything else for you guys today. Clip the moments from the stream about that Gwen card and turn it into its own video. That would be a good one for drawing in views. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea at all. I'm terrible at clipping stuff, unless I'm actually like watching it while you guys do it, and then I clip it like from there. But I'll try and figure out how to do that, and if I can, yeah, I will definitely make a Gwen Stacy video. In the meantime, in between time though, I think we are going to cap it off there. I do have a video that I'm planning to try and get out for you guys, hopefully for Sunday or Monday, for a new deck video, and preferably Sunday, of course, because the series is supposed to be Super Deck Sunday. And that video will be a Yu-Gi-Oh deck because I have a cool new Yu-Gi-Oh playmat that I want to show off in that video. And I have some stuff about Yu-Gi-Oh that I want to talk about because Genesis looks really cool. But in the meantime, in between time, thank you again, MatCave Gaming, Raider of the Cosmos, Snoop, Alan C, Miku. All you guys are amazing for coming and tuning in and commenting. And thank you so much to everybody who, again, all you content creators I love. Um, and to all the commenters who come out and give me lots of support on my videos with likes and comments and such. So, um, in the description of this live stream, you will find the links to all the different channels I've shouted out today. Please go check those channels out if you are interested in any of their content. There was a variety of different things from different video game streamers to there was a couple of MTG stuff, and we had even some puppy channels in there too. So please, by all means, go check those out if you're interested. And yeah, thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving to you all. I know it's Canadian Thanksgiving for us, so for my American friends, um, this is a month early, but still, happy Thanksgiving. Um, and once more, I'm just very grateful to all of you for being here. You guys mean the world to me, and I hope that this channel just keeps growing and becoming more awesome, and that we can all have lots of fun together and support each other and be amazing. Okay, I'm going to put this over into Kaiba as an outro. Show you guys the beautiful pug one last time as I take this off. And I'm just going to say much love to you all from Kaiba over there. And for me over here, take care of yourselves. Have a great weekend if I don't get a chance to get in touch with you guys again. And I yeah, I truly appreciate you all. Love you all. Bye.